All right, looks like we are live. If you guys can hear me, please press that 3. Make sure you guys get these likes up and share this video. You guys asked for it, so here we are doing a live stream. We're going to talk about Diddy and Chris Brown. Diddy is going down. He's been trying to get out of jail. He asked for the first time, second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt. You know how Diddy get down. Can't stop, won't stop, okay? But it seems like nobody is hearing his plea because he is still stuck behind bars. And Diddy is not as smart as you guys think he is. And it seems like without the people above that was really covering for Diddy all these years, without their help, Diddy is nothing. Diddy is not smart. He's not intelligent. He's a coward and he just nothing. He's really nothing at this point. So, yes, he asked for the third attempt and it looks like he's not getting out. His lawyers are dumb. And I don't know why he would get such lawyers. It just lets you know how dumb Diddy was to even get this type of lawyer. And that's saying that he's trying to build a dream team. He's cutting off the lawyers that he has. But why would he get this lawyer in the first place, knowing the height of things? Diddy is not a smart person. They say that he's so gone off of them drugs. He is staying off. Kids, please stay out of drugs. See, them drugs is messing his head up and them freak offs, and he got so many demons that's circling around his mindset. He just all messed up. And also they're coming for your boy Chris Brown. I don't know if you guys know, but Chris Brown, he been putting pause on a lot of women. And you guys know the reason why Diddy is going down for putting pause on a lot of women as well. They are coming up with a documentary series about Chris Brown, as you guys can see here. Okay. Yeah, they are coming down. And I got an article I would love for you guys to hear because they're going to tell you what's going down verbatim. And I want you guys to hear this. But we do have the phone lines up. So the phone number is at the bottom of the screen, 515-605-9737. So I would love for you guys to call in. You guys know I do not go live stream often. So when I do get on here, let's make it hot. So I will want to come back again. Okay. So here is the article you guys need to listen to about Chris Brown.
A new investigation discovery documentary will explore the abuse allegations and legal troubles of singer Chris Brown. A new accused is featured in the documentary, which is arriving in October. Investigation discovery is the same network behind the Quiet on Set documentary that outlined the Nickelodeon.
Hold on, let me try it again. I didn't realize I had things on mute. So let's try this again. Let's play.
Accused is featured in the documentary, which is arriving. A new investigation discovery documentary will explore the abuse allegations and legal troubles of singer Chris Brown. A new accused is featured in the documentary, which is arriving in October. Investigation Discovery is the same network behind the Quiet on Set documentary that outlined the Nickelodeon child abuse allegations. Now on October 27th, Chris Brown, A History of Violence will air as part of ID's third annual No Excuse for Abuse campaign. The documentary explores Brown's legal issues, including domestic violence, assault charges, and sexual assault allegations. Chris Brown's extensive legal troubles started in 2009 when he beat then-girlfriend Rihanna to a pulp, causing extensive facial injuries. Brown pleaded guilty to felony assault in this case and accepted a plea deal, but the treatment Rihanna received wouldn't be the last beating doled out by Brown's hands. The other allegations include assault, sexual assault, and legal issues that were settled out of court. The documentary will chart Chris Brown's past all the way back to his troubled childhood, explores the lasting impact of the cycle of abuse, and poses the question, how does a man with such a violent public record maintain his superstar status? With expert and cultural commentary layered throughout, the documentary provides thoughtful reflection.
And I have something to say. I think it's very interesting. She states that how is it that Chris Brown, how is it that the Black community continue to put that as the king of the community after his reputation of hitting women? clearly because the Black community don't care about men hitting on women. I mean, how often do you hear these men hitting on women in their own communities, their own fathers, their own sons, their own husbands is hitting on women? It clearly they don't care. That's what it seems like. Or, they need somebody to help lead the way. And maybe this documentary is helping the Black community to know what's right and what's wrong, you know? So when you guys put these documentaries out, maybe it will shake the nation to send a signal to say, hey, this is wrong. Men putting hands on women is wrong. Chris Brown was wrong, and he does not need to be on a pedestal. And we're gonna have to knock him off the board. It's just as simple as that. I mean, he's very talented, but just because you have talent does not excuse you putting your hands on women. That does not excuse that. So it seems like they need to be led the way because they don't know.
Reflections into each survivor's experience and the psychological destruction in the aftermath of their abuse. As made clear in the trailer, a new accuser whose identity will remain hidden has come forward to speak about their allegations against Brown. I have not spoken about this matter publicly, but that's the only way he can be stopped, this new accuser says in the trailer for the documentary. After the documentary airs in ID at 9 p.m. on October 27th, The View co-host Sunny Hostin will lead a conversation about intimate partner violence. Domestic violence is a very close personal issue to me as I reflect on my past as a prosecutor of these types of hate cases, and in my role as a mother and public figure who could actions inform and help shape the next generation. This issue is a prevalent epidemic which knows no social economic boundaries, so I am dedicated to expanding and continuing this crucial conversation, Holston said in the statement. The more
All right, so there you have it. They're coming out with it. They already have it already recorded. It's so many victims, they say, that has come forward on Chris Brown, and more victims will come more forward.
Girls want a couple of questions and things. For the young ladies, I mean, what's up, man? You got a girl or what?
Nah, I'm keeping my options open, so y'all be checking for me, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's the type of stuff will get you in trouble, player.
All right, so yeah, they have the show all taped out and it's gonna look good. It's juicy. All right, so you know what? You guys wanted me to come on live, but the likes isn't liking. We got over 200 people here, but we have over 97 likes. Can we please get the lives up? You guys wanted this live stream and I'm trying to give it to you, but let's get the likes up, okay? Because you guys know when I do the uploads are doing good. Uploads is doing good. So I'm really doing live stream just for you guys. You requested it. I know you guys want a more connection and I'm trying to give it to you, but we have to work together, you guys. Because when I do these live streams, I'm not being supported. So that's what makes me go to the uploads, okay? And I have to get it however I have to get it. You understand? All right. So Fifi donated $2. Thank you, Fifi. His fans do not care. This will do nothing. It will, because the power at B is not going to let up. Just like they put their foot down on Diddy, they're going to do the same thing to Chris Brown. They're going to do the same thing to all the kings that's on the board that you guys continue to prop up. Okay. So let's look in the comment section. People are saying leave Chris Brown alone. No, we're not going to leave Chris Brown alone until he leaves women alone. When he stops putting hands on women, then we'll leave him alone. His parents failed him, and his parents should have told him, do not put hands on women. The way you guys scream about don't be gay, the same reaction y'all should have about men putting hands on women, okay? It should have been that same outrage, but it's not, unfortunately. And so many of these rappers, so many of these artists are putting hands on women and getting away with it, and they are cool with it. So I'm going to read a little bit more here. People are seemingly in the Black community, they don't want this man to be accounted for because he's Black. So now they're talking about Caucasian people. What about Caucasian? What about? Well, we're not talking about Caucasian. We're talking about Chris Brown here. So let's stop with changing the direction, and we have to hold your own accountable. Hold your own accountable. Chris Sheen or whoever you name it, he's not affecting nobody in the Black community, but Chris Brown is. I don't understand. I don't understand. It says to come out with Chris Brown documentary before Trey Songz. So it seems like a lot of people are so in love with Chris Brown that they don't want to hold him accountable. There's so many excuses in the comments. Well, what about the other guy? Well, let's do him first. Who give a damn about who goes first, second, and third? If they on Chris Brown, they on Chris Brown. They got enough victims. So yeah, I want you guys to call in if you guys have something to say about this Chris Brown thing. So let's go to Diddy, right? Let's go to Diddy. So this is Diddy lawyer, and I want you guys to hear him out. He doesn't see it happening. However, this guy, they're saying they're tossing him out, and Diddy is preparing to get a new lawyer. So let's hear what he has to say.
Mr. Combs, and I don't see it happening.
Why?
Because he believes he's innocent. He believes he's innocent. And what's more, he believes that he needs to stand up, not just for himself, for his family, and for everybody who's been targeted by the federal government. Mr. Combs feels A, he's innocent, which is why he's not going to plead guilty. B, he's going to be truthful.
I disagree. I feel like he knows he's guilty, but in America, it teaches you that if you have a certain amount of money, that you can get away with just about anything. And Diddy felt that because he has so much money that he can get away with anything. That's what he has been taught all these years. And, you know, things have changed. The world has changed, Diddy. And you should be so intelligent. Everybody knows the world always changes, meaning society. Society changes. What does that mean? That means the rules of society change. What people say that's in, the trends have changed. Everything changes. Just like now, we are condemning men that put paws on women. Before this, it was a world that was okay with men putting hands on women. Things change. We do have a caller, so let's get to these calls. Calling from 801, you're live on the air. What are your thoughts about Diddy or Chris Brown?
This is Fifi. I did want to just say, as far as the Chris Brown thing, a lot of people just kind of like make it as if it's one thing, it's just Rihanna, but it's been a lot of different people since then. And I think one of them actually was on Diddy's yacht. Like one of the accusers or something like that was, they met somewhere around Diddy, if I'm not mistaken. So he was definitely at the Diddy parties. Now, there was also Tiana Taylor. He cussed her out not that long ago. He probably would have went further if no one else was around. He punched, I think, Frank Ocean in the face. He just, like, not even a couple of years ago or so, I think his restraining order with Carucci just expired. So it's just kind of like, this is an ongoing thing. It's, you know, it's like a routine. I don't know what else people need to, like, see, like, this is who he is at this point. As far as Diddy, he's getting what he needs. He's getting exactly what he's deserved. After reading into like what he's been doing, they need to lock him up underneath the jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what do you say to Black men in the comment section saying that we won't be watching?
I mean, a lot of people, I'm not gonna say like all Black men, but a lot of Black men unfortunately have this thing where they kind of want to be like white men. And that's kind of problematic because we'll never be them. So the things that they get away with, they're like, oh, well, we should get away with that. And it's just like, that's not really a good mentality to have. Yeah, so I'd have to disagree with that.
And just because you won't be watching, America will be watching, white America gonna be watching. The people that really counts and matter is going to be watching.
Yeah.
So you guys with these false idolizations, because they idolize these individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Call it what you
Yeah.
want, but it's idolization. Make no mistake about it. You guys
Yeah.
idolize entertainers. They don't do anything but entertain you and make music. They don't.
I'm
You
not gonna lie,
idolize.
I've been there too. Cause look, I was a Beehive member. I didn't play about my Beyonce, but at the end of the day, like she's not paying my bills. I don't really know her personally, so you know you gotta let that stuff go. You can't be defending somebody you don't know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've never been that way. I've never idolized anyone, so I can't
Yeah,
relate. But it needs to stop
that's good.
because it's not healthy. When you look at the state of the community and looking at these relationships and how diabolical these relationships are and how over sexualized this community is and how music
Mhm.
has influenced it, it's like these individual is poisoning the community and they just keep on putting them on a pedestal. It's so sickening.
I'm gonna say one more thing though. They're all on drugs. That's the thing everybody seems to skip over. Chris Brown, they've been saying that for a long time. He's on drugs. Diddy now is coming out. He's been a junkie all these years. These people are on drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Chris Brown, you can see
I don't
it.
mean to condemn it, but you know, like
I mean, you have
they on some
to
stuff.
because when you're on those drugs, you're not in your right state of mind.
Yeah.
You have some substance that is taken over, making you do very wicked and diabolical things that you would not do
Hmm.
in your common sense mind.
Exactly. It's
And
sad.
they're going to blame it on the drugs. So I was on drugs when I did that, when I was not out of character. Okay, but you chose to
Hmm.
continue to entertain in these drug uses. And why do these individuals go to drugs? Because they don't know how to cope with their problems and their issues. And their parents don't know how to cope and they have failed them. And they're watching their parents go on these sugar boogers and do all this drugs and they're following suit. They don't know how to cope with problems and issues. They don't know how to talk. They cannot talk about their feelings because they don't know how to communicate. They communicate with drugs and
Yeah.
violence and all this freak offs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Fifi. I know you got to go. I love you so much. All right. So I'm going to let her go. Calling from 773. You're live on the air. What's your thoughts about Diddy or Chris Brown?
Hey, Gigi, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Girl, I'm over here in Chicago just watching this, and girl, I'm over here on my couch just shaking my head. Now, Gigi, I don't want to tell my age, but I'm gonna just say it. I'm a woman of a particular age. I'm in my mid-40s, so I can tell you right now, I don't look it. But girl, I'm gonna say this.
Ever felt a
You know, I'm gonna say this. When this stuff came out with Chris Brown, and that picture of Rihanna came out, he beat her so bad. He beat her so bad. If you recall, she looked like a demon. She had knots on either side of her head, and it resembled horns.
Oh God,
All right,
that was
and
horrible. Yeah.
I was devastated by that. I was devastated by that. Now, here's where it turned for me. And I'm not victim shaming nobody. I'm just giving my honest assessments of this. She went on somebody, I want to say it was Oprah, but it was a very large platform. And come to find out, this was not the first time that he had laid hands on her. It was just the first time that the public knew. And then, again, I want to say it was Oprah. Oprah's like, then why did you stay? And she said, because I thought I could fix him. Now, Gigi, I started off by saying my age. I come from an age where, at least here in Chicago, where when these men hit these women hit them back. Now, I'm not saying that they won or anything like that, but these women were not going to be sitting here taken these abuses and what have you. And I'm going to say this, Gigi. I remember music before hip hop. I remember music before hip hop. And it just seems to me that hip hop music has done more to damage Black women than any other force out there. And the worst part about it is that the best way I could say it is that the calls are coming from inside the house. The abuse is coming from within the culture that is supposed to nurture and is supposed to celebrate Black women. So, girl, all of this is a mess. Now, when it comes to Chris Brown, baby, Chris Brown needs correction. But I'm gonna say this: we need to re-educate our women to where we remind them on the daily, you are a queen. You don't let nobody put paws on you.
Mhm. Yeah, and
And
I have to say something too. That all that you said about that, and I thank you for revisiting the past when it comes to Rihanna and Chris Brown hitting her, and that's not the first time that he's hitting her. And I blame the industry because why are you guys putting such a violent individual on a platform, knowing he has issues, knowing he has family issues that nobody can unpack except for him? But you guys feed the
Gigi,
demon, and you have the demon on a leash,
you
and
said
you
it, Gigi.
continue
You said
to
it.
hold on
The
now, hold on,
industry.
wait. You continue. It's almost like the industry pick a little demons to say, okay, I want to make you a superstar. I know you have demons in you. That's good. And I'm going to keep on feeding you and keep putting you on a leash because all the damage that this guy has done. And then Rihanna, you guys kept on putting her on a pedestal, knowing that she has damage from her father. If you know the history between Rihanna and her father, how her father has damaged her.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they go out to pick destructive, effed up human beings to make entertainers, to make superstars, to say, hey, this is your leading example. And it goes all the way down to reality stars, from Jocelyn to the next one to the next one. They always pick F up individuals to put as leading role models or superstars to have everybody to set this is the standard versus having talented individuals with morals and values and manners and respect. It's almost if you are a talented person with respect, morals, and values, you will not get they will do whatever they can to block you, to put the demons on at the top. And that is what
Because
they want,
Gigi,
and that's what it seems like. Because it's
well,
no
Gigi,
excuse.
well, first off, you 100% correct. But here's the thing, Gigi, you answered your own question before you went into this. You said, why does the industry? Girl, this is called show business. This ain't called show friendship. Honey, it is all about making money. And you cannot manipulate a healthy, an emotionally and spiritually healthy individual. So what you're going to do is going to find those damaged people, because those people are the ones that are easily manipulated. Gigi, when R. Kelly married Aaliyah, you're not going to sit there and tell me that the people at Arista Records didn't think that that was crazy. But as long as R. Kelly was making money, they let it go by. It's only when society put pressure on R. Kelly that Arista Records said, okay, you're too hot now.
Mm. Yeah, now it's all crumbling. And someone says in the comment section, Rihanna married now, isn't she? No, Rihanna is not married. And if she was married, what is that supposed to mean? Now, we have seen so many marriages that it's very toxic. So just because you have a marriage license doesn't allow you to say, hey, you're on the right path and you're in your right state of mind. Was R. Kelly married at one point? Was R. Kelly married at one point? I'm not sure. Was he? He was never married?
He was married to a 16-year-old.
Oh, yeah, he was. So there you go. And doing his marriage. But I thought he was married to Drea Kelly. That's why she got the last name Kelly. But I
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah.
to say that R. Kelly was married, but look at his marriage. It was a low value marriage, and he was doing crimes during his marriage, and his marriage was nothing but a cover up. And now his
And
daughter is speaking out against him because I don't know if you guys heard, but his daughter said R. Kelly was doing unreasonable things to his daughter, and now she's coming out.
now let me say this. Let me say this to you, Gigi. When it came to like R. Kelly, when it came to R. Kelly, remember, it takes two people. How was he able to get all of these? When there was this one, that documentary, Surviving R. Kelly, there was that woman who was a flight attendant, and she was pleading and screaming at the staircase, can I please go to the bathroom? How are you as a grown woman going to ask another human being if you can go to the bathroom? Gigi, the illness is on both sides. It's on both sides, girl. And as a society, listen, mama, I don't want to get too deep on you, but I'm a reader. And so I gotta go into what is in my wheelhouse. 2024 was going to be the year of mass revelations. And it's all coming out now. It is all coming out now. And girl, the thing is that we're going to see all of these societal pillars that we at one time we held up so strongly. We're going to see all of these things fall because, baby, you got to knock out what's bad in order to rebuild. And it's coming. And girl, and it's going to get uglier before it gets better. But the main thing that we need to focus on is that it will get better. We just got to hold on for right now. It's like, I don't want to say, it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Oh yeah, we will rise from the ashes, but we're going to burn first. And it is in that burning that we must be brave. And again, girl, this hip hop stuff, again, I reiterate, it has done more to damage Black women than anything else. Black women out here going and getting these injections so that they could aesthetically look like these videos and stuff like that. They're not doing it for them. They're doing it for the admiration of these low value men because it's a society.
I agree with you, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but where are the parenting? Where is the parent? Where is the parent to say no? You don't need to do that. To know you getting a big butt, all that is going to attract is flies. Don't you know that flies are attracted to shit? So don't you know that when you get all that, you're just going to attract flies? You're not going to attract a value man or someone that really honors you. It's a distraction.
But this society this society has not valued or has not celebrated value. It celebrates how ratchet and how gut bucket can you be, because the next thing we got to do is to see how much lower we can be. Baby, this is a societal. This is a societal endemic. And let me say this much. And I'm not trying to start no shit with nobody. That's not my plan here, girl. I don't care what white people do. I don't give a shit about what white people do. It hurts me to the core to see Black and brown people disintegrate themselves from inside the culture. That hurts my heart. Yeah, it's deep, baby. It's deep.
Well,
I want to share one thing.
Go ahead.
I want to share this one thing with you, and then I'm going to let this go. So, Gigi, listen, I generally don't do this. Because, there are some, there are spiritual laws that we don't do. But with this thing about Kim Porter and this book and all that type of stuff, girl, I threw down some cards. And I was hoping that I might be able to make a connection with Kim Porter. I didn't. Nothing came out. And that could mean one of two things. That could mean that I just didn't make a connection, or that the spirit of Kim Porter is at rest. And what's happening here on this physical plane does not pertain to her anymore. But then, girl, I started throwing cards for Diddy. And to make a long story short, Gigi, unmitigated chaos. just chaos unbridled chaos, and there is an intelligence behind that. I didn't get anything like he was a victim, but what I did get was there was a lot of hubris, there was a lot of arrogance. You know, Gigi, what I got from the cards was like, he's sitting there in jail, and he's like, if I go down, I'm going to take everybody down. But girl, there's no remorse for what he did, not from what I read. There's no remorse in this man. There's just vengeance, and there's just, how do I want to say, arrogance. You know,
Well,
when I come out of jail,
I would say this to cut you off, then we're going to go. Now, you say that you don't get no remorse. Well, I'm not surprised, because you have to realize the nature of the beast. When you're dealing with a beast, you're not going to get a lot of remorse. Is the lion going to have remorse for killing a tiger or a deer? Is a lion going to have remorse for eating baby rabbits? I mean, are you serious? That is his nature. He is a beast. He's been a beast for a long time. So for you or anybody else to think that he's going to tap to be civilized now, why would he be civilized in his last hour? He's an animal. He's a beast, and that's what he will always remain. I think it's kind of silly.
And that's what, and again,
for
that's what I got.
anyone to even look at someone like that and to think, okay, he's going to be civilized, he's going to be remorseful, all of a sudden in the last hour, he's going to turn into a human. No, he will be in his beastful nature like he's always been. All right. But I just want to say thank you, 773. I appreciate you. And I just want to let you guys know that, you know, here at this platform, all walks of life and religion is, you guys are open to share your thoughts. I know some people may not believe in psychics. Some people do, and what people say, they do not speak for me. I was raised, and not just because I was raised, I mean, I believe it. I'm not sure how I stand with it, but I was raised that once the dead is dead, then they have no way of communicating with anybody on different planes. That's just how I was raised. You guys know I was raised Baptist, Christian, even though I'm not a Christian. So I'm an ex-Christian. All right. So feel free to call in. Let us hear what you guys have to say. And even though I don't subscribe to the religion, I still hold some of the values and some of the morals I still did take with me. Just to put that out there. All right. Well, we do have some other callers, so feel free to call in. We're talking about Diddy and we're talking about Chris Brown here. Please get the likes up. You guys know I do not go to live stream often, but if you guys want me to, I need your help. I need you to like the video. I need you to call in. I need you to comment. I need you to call in and comment and like and share and do all that thing. So I want to hear a little bit from Nancy before I go into the phone call. So feel free to call in 917. I see you in queue and I'm going to get to you. Okay.
Breaking news tonight. Diddy hungry? Sean Combs apparently refusing jail food. Some say he's missing his private chef and convinced he will be poisoned. Because remember, it's all about him. Okay, it's not about his alleged sex trafficking victims. It's about him. He actually thinks someone might poison him behind bars. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
Diddy done it. Rap star and music mogul.
The number 1,000 came.
The U.S. attorney said it.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I get.
Oh, wow. And just to let you guys know, Cat Williams, he did say on his stage that the baby oil has a lot of drugs in it. And Diddy will get you to come over to get a massage, and you think you're just getting a nice massage. And the baby oil have drugs that stimulate your mind and body and makes you weak and paralyze you, where you cannot move. And he's going to take advantage of you. And I'm sure they have all these type of drugs and different things that can make you fall asleep or paralyze you. Maybe he got something with that baby oil. So let's go to our phone calls. 917, you're live on the air. How you doing? What's your thoughts about Diddy or Chris Brown?
Hey, Vivi, you know what? I was calling to touch, base with you. This is Divine Oracle, by the way. But I was calling to touch base with you about Diddy and Jay-Z in general. Not really Chris Brown, I honestly, I feel like this Chris Brown, he's done his dirty deeds, let that man live his life and go into repentance, right? But I wanted to drop some jewels to give you a bit of entree versus appetizer. You know what I mean? So you could, you and your viewers can process the information I'm going to give you. Is that okay with you?
I'm listening.
Okay. So we all know that Diddy changed his name, and because I'm Divine Oracle, I got to keep it spiritual. But we all know that Diddy changed his name to Love, and Jay-Z's next business venture in Manhattan is a casino. And if you look at the straight fact that the way it's almost like Jay-Z dumped Dame Dash and replaced Dame Dash with Diddy. Think about it. Jack was her right. Shout out to you, sis. I already know. I pray that he hears me speak. But he dumped Dame Dash and replaced Dame Dash for Diddy. Why? Now let's talk about the Grammys. Okay? The Grammy party was originally hosted every year by Clive Davis. Who's doing the pre-Grammy parties now? Diddy and Jay-Z. Now let's take it to the Bible. For the love, Diddy, of money, Jay-Z's next business venture in Manhattan is the casino, is the root of all evil. The Bible says that the great red dragon gives his power to two beasts before the great destruction. Red Dragon, Clive Davis, the originator of the Grammy party, passed it along to Diddy and Jay-Z. Okay? So I just want to give you some meat and potatoes to run with. You don't got to believe. I know you're not. I like how you set it up before you brought me in because you knew how it was going to come. But, and I'm not saying it's true. I'm not accusing them of anything, but I just want people to look at things and how things are turning out and how things are unfolding. I want to give y'all some meat and potatoes to run with. Have a blessed day. I love you, Gigi. I'll call you back again. I'll give you some meat and potatoes next week.
All right. So there you go. So how I see it, how do you guys feel about Jay-Z and Diddy? I just feel like these are two hustlers. They're scammers. They do anything to get to the top, to fill their ego. And how they got here, I'm sure they probably have done some horrible things and still doing some horrible things. I think these are beasts. Just like a lot of hood guys in the hood, when you go to your average corner block, these individuals, they're not compassionate. They're animals on the street. Okay, they are looking to terrorize, to steal, kill whoever they can. Diddy was once that person. Jay-Z was once that person. They just was poor at it. Now they're rich. But make no mistake about it, the nature of the beast, they're still goddamn beasts. That's just how I see them. That's how I always saw them, as beasts. They're animalistic. They want to be the king of the jungle. And to be the king, you cannot be compassionate when you're killing little rabbits and you having them for supper. So I feel that they have done a lot of that, and they're going to continue. It seems like Jay-Z, he have outsmarted a little bit more than Diddy, But eventually, like people are speculating that they're all going to come down, just like the white man in the wild, how he hunts down the lion. And when he hunts down and take down these lions, it fills his ego. I feel like it's how the world operates, in the wild. It's what they call the circle of life, how this eats that and that eats that. So eventually all of them will come down. It's just a matter of time. We got another caller calling from 111. You're live on the air. 111. Hey, anonymous caller, talk to me.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you for having me. I'd like to touch on the Chris Brown thing, right?
Okay,
well, everything in general, but I'm sorry, did you go ahead?
Oh, I said, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Talk to me about the Chris Brown.
Okay. The lady that spoke before, I don't know if it was right before or after, because this is my second time calling, but then I had to go out because I had a phone call, so I'm not sure. But neither here nor there though. My thing about this, all about this Chris Brown thing, they're saying they're coming out with a documentary. Like, I feel like it's a load of crap. Just another money grab at the end of the day, because you have to look at it, right? For one, with everything that's going on between all of these people in the industry, these men, in the industry to begin with. Now, the men older and have been in the game longer than Chris Brown, let's start there. No matter their skin color, right? Yes, this has been a thing. It's been going on or whatever, but to try to put Chris Brown in it, and they want to make it seem as if Chris Brown is doing this because he's doing that, I feel like this is not about him, right? This is about them.
Well,
okay, Chris Brown
hold on. I want
has
to
went
cut
through
you off
his
a little
humiliation
bit.
ritual.
This documentary is about Chris Brown, and this documentary is not something that they're trying to do. It's something that's already
No,
done.
I get it.
They're putting it out.
Yeah, but what I'm
and
saying
people
is,
are responding
yeah,
to
I
it.
get it, and I think it's sad and it's sick because again, they put him through his humiliation ritual with that whole Rihanna thing decades ago, right? Is what it seems like. It's almost 20 years ago they've done it, right? To him, where he lost all of this and had to start from the bottom again and come back up and all this, right?
Well, why does
Lost
he
all
get a
this,
chance
all
to
these,
come back up when he done so many horrific things? Why does he get that chance?
Okay, well, hold on, wait. My thing is this. The thing with Rihanna, we know he's done it. Rihanna did what she did to him, right? He retaliated, and he paid the cost. Not only did he go to jail, he paid millions in different things, right? With that whole Rihanna, he lost millions, right? And paid him whatever else,
I'm
right?
sorry to say,
And
but no matter how many millions you have, it does not equate to you putting a scar on my soul and you traumatizing me and you're hitting me and the verbal abuse. And this is not his
I
only victim.
understand that,
He
but that's one
also done
person
it,
to one person.
but he also done it to several other women. Rihanna is not his only
okay,
victim.
see, but the thing is, the people after Rihanna, I didn't even get that there yet, right? The people after Rihanna and stuff like that, for one, none of that was proven in court, right? A lot of this stuff where they're adding all of these things, especially the ones nowadays.
It's a victim that
Hold on,
said
wait,
he
the
did
lady
it.
added. No, what I'm saying is the reason why I added it, the reason why I mentioned it was because that lady mentioned, oh, well, he yelled at Tiana Taylor. As if that's the first time you've ever seen a male raise his voice at a woman before. So because Chris Brown raised his voice at his good friend that he's been friends with for over 20 years, oh, yeah, he has to be a bad guy. But men yell and curse out and beat up stranger women in the streets every single freaking day. Where is the outrage for that? That's happening every day with these punks, okay, wanna be thugs on the motherfucking street that do that to innocent women just because they don't even want to say hi to them.
Let's watch our language. However, those individuals are not superstars. Chris Brown, he get the red carpet rolled out for him. Chris Brown is in front of our kids every single day. Chris Brown, yes, with the music videos. I mean, this man is living lavish. This man is not living like your average person at all. He is blessed by 10 times blessed. Have you seen his closet that he shows off? I mean, he's living really, really good.
So this isn't about what is actually going on and what people are actually doing. Because so the man can't be upset about something that him and his friend went through, somebody that he's been friends with for over 20 years again.
Well, I'm
because
sorry.
he
Hold
has
on. I want to cut you off. This documentary is not about Chris Brown yelling at anyone.
No, the woman mentioned it. Again, this is why I said I wanted to go step by step.
You can't go back and forth with everybody. We're talking about the documentary here. What's the documentary is not about Chris Brown yelling at anyone. So that is just how certain people feel. But the case is about domestic violence and his upbringing. Chris Brown's father, they say he was a horrible man, that he had the same traits that Chris Brown had. And they're saying that there's plenty of accusers and victims that have come out that you guys don't even know about.
Okay, no, Gigi, I'm gonna tell you like this as well. I do know that it wasn't his father that was the one that he watched growing up abuse his mom. It was his stepfather that he watched abusing his mom growing up. So that's one thing there. So I understand that part. I get it, and how that can affect people that have lived through that, watching their parents.
Do you know anything about the father?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about his father?
Again. There are things, absolutely, but I'm just going off what was said so far. I didn't want to, overstep or whatever.
Let me correct that. Hold on, let me correct that. It wasn't his father. It was his father figure that he saw as a little child growing up.
I know. I know. Like I said, his stepfather. Well,
so I want to know this because this has something to do with it too. Where was his father at? Where was his father?
Exactly. I understand that. Yes.
I'm asking you. I know you know a lot about Chris Brown.
No. What I'm saying is,
where was his biological father?
Okay, and this is a thing that I ask all the time. I'm with you. I'm with that because these are the things we need to know. You get what I'm saying? Because it's easy for somebody to say, "Oh well." This person, and I get it now, they are not a child. But of course, we all once were. It's easy to look at a grown person and say, oh, well, this person is acting like this and this and that. But this child has been through so much and has seen so much, and I get it. But I think people tend to forget that because they are celebrities.
And they should not be a celebrity. If you're going through so much and you're so damaged, you should not be in celebrity. You need to get your life together. But unfortunately, in this wicked industry, they purposely picked individuals that's effed up, that's mentally effed up, mentally that is weak for drugs, mentally that is weak to put hands on women to do whatever so they can blackmail them and to control them. They're not picking strong-minded individuals with morals and values with talent. It's like those individuals, they never get a chance.
Yeah, it seems like that for the most part, but depending on how young they get them, at what age as well needs to be looked at. So these documentaries, not just this one out now, but they give you an insight. And I like the fact that people, watch them and, they gain the knowledge or whatever. But for the people that are just out there spitting false narratives and stuff, it doesn't do any of the people involved any justice whatsoever,
Got it. So what I want
And
to
it's
know
like,
is, everybody out there, where can you tell me Chris Brown's father? Was he an unwanted boy? His father, biological, that just did not want anything to do with him, which I'm sure has caused Chris Brown mental issues, to not have your biological father there, not wanting anything to do with you. Where was his biological father,
that's
and where still
eventually,
is? I don't know Chris Brown's whole story.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. But,
and we don't know if
he's
Chris
not the
Brown's
only one.
biological father
Like you
was
said,
but we don't know if Chris Brown's biological fathers was on drugs really bad, did beat on women, because we have no record of him. He is a ghost. He's a deadbeat father, it seems like.
Yeah, and whatever substance abuse, that didn't come on until later on after being in the industry, you know, for a decade or so. That came later on. You know, it's not like he was already on drugs or was, you know, anything like that. That's another thing, again, about the industry. It's sick. You know?
Well,
it turns everyone. It's not just the singers, you know, rappers or anything like that. These actors and actresses as well.
Yeah. We on Chris Brown now, but I'm just gonna let you go right now.
No. I'm gonna stick to Chris Brown, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much for calling in. All right, so we let her go. The number is open. We don't have any other callers right now, so feel free to call in. We do have a Diddy case right here that Nancy Grace is covering. And I want to hear more from her, but I want you guys to call in or put in the comment section, ask questions. And I do have another soundbite that I can play for you guys that talks more about the Diddy case. Listen to this.
Ever since November of 2023, when Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against rapper, businessman, and multimillionaire P. Diddy, a multitude of allegations have come out against him. In the past couple of months, Diddy has been arrested. Multiple more lawsuits have come out, and he also has multiple charges against him. And with everything that's come out against Diddy recently, it can get confusing when it comes to the details, making it hard to separate facts from fiction. So today I'm going to break down every single formal allegation that P. Diddy is facing. But first, we got to understand a little bit more about Puff. So I just want to put a little disclaimer right here that obviously I'm going to be talking about some really dark and disgusting and sensitive topics, as I'm sure most of you are probably already aware. But I just want to warn you guys because it gets pretty graphic. So with that in mind, let's continue. Most of us know who Diddy is or know of Diddy, but we got to have a better understanding of who he is to truly understand these allegations. Diddy, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or Sean Shams, began his career in the 90s working at Uptown Record. A few years into his career, he was fired. So he then created his own label called Bad Boy Records in '93. He signed the notorious B.I.G., who was obviously a huge signee and made Puff very successful. He signed other artists like Faith Evans and had an in-house production team called the Hitmen, who worked with artists like Usher, Del C, Mariah Carey, Crean, Franklin, and many more. Puff was already very successful, but then he decided to work on his own music. His first single charted for 28 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, and his first album sold 561,000 copies. 1,000 copies first week, so Diddy was already wildly successful early on to his career in the music industry. Not only was he a successful artist, but he was also a powerful executive with tons of connections.
All right, so we're going to stop it there, okay? And we're going to have more phone calls, so let's go to the phone calls. Calling from 302. 302, if you can turn 302, are you there? Okay, 302, I'll come back. Okay, you're there. So if you can turn the radio down and just talk to me.
Oh, say it again.
If you can just turn the radio off and just talk to me. So what are your thoughts about Diddy or Chris Brown?
Yes, hi, how you doing? Sorry about that.
How are you?
I just wanted to make a comment. I was just listening to the previous person you were speaking with, and I kind of agree with her a little bit, and I understand where you're coming from. Totally feel as though Diddy is wrong. I know what he's done is definitely something that people definitely can't believe, but I think that they knew in the past it was probably true. However, I think that being an African American woman and for our African American people, I feel like it's going to break us up as a community and a culture. I keep going back to thinking about, we had someone running for president who, had allegations, went through the court system, and has been found guilty of these things. Nowhere near what Puffy's done, but do we really know? We remember seeing videos of Trump with Epstein and Trump with Diddy, but the only allegations that are coming out are all for our people. Puff Daddy did what he did, let that system deal with him. But bringing down, Beyonce, now it's Jay-Z, and now it's all these rappers, it's like, what will we have left as a community to who to look up to for our young kids? There won't be any. And I just feel sometimes our own people are putting down our own people, and other people are looking at us and laughing at us. Yes, what Diddy did was wrong. Did he do Cassie wrong? Did he hit Cassie? Yes. Have women ever been hit before? Yes. And is it wrong? Yes. But where is justice just for, it just breaks my heart, because as a woman of being 50 years old, I have 2 young boys myself. And I just look at the world differently now, because I'm like, do we deserve second chances? And that's why I agree with the previous person about Chris Brown. Yes, he's done wrong, but he's paid his dues. And I know you said, well, why does he have to be forgiven, or why does he have to have a second chance? Why not? We have a white man running for president who has 34 felonies, and he's walking free. And he's done a numerous amount of things. We have 2 different societies, 2 different criminal systems for blacks and for whites. So why us as black people can't believe that it's okay to make mistakes and you can't be a better person, or you can't deserve a second chance? I guess I didn't understand when you said that. It was like, why does he deserve to be in the industry? Why does he not?
All right. Well, I'm glad that you spoke out about that. So I will go back to it. I truly believe that, hey, if I have this guy and he's a violent guy, he's not allowed to come back into my house. And that's just as simple as that. You're grown enough to know not to do certain things, and you have been given a chance. And a chance and a chance and a chance. I mean, that is how you get here. You just don't, nobody comes to your house one day and just say, hey, you're going to be a superstar. You have to fight for that position. Every day, every audition is another chance. So for you to blow that for that, then I feel that that is on you. And if the industry did have those values and morals, we would not have people like Chris Brown or Diddy or Jay-Z or a host of these individuals that is influencing the community. And it seems to be in a backward manner of violence, of drugs, of over-sexualization. And that is just my standards. But it seems as though that the industry, they purposely pick these individuals that has, a lot of trauma that has not been resolved, that they use their problem solving with drugs, with over sexualizing themselves and to be violent individuals. And they push it out into the communities as this is a way for you to solve your problems, is to just shoot it out or just to freak off. If you're having issues, just go to drugs and just have a fucking freak off and just forget about your issues. That's what it seems like.
So
It's
let me
pushing
ask you a
to
quick
me.
question. That's a good point, what you just said. I certainly get that. So let me ask you a quick question. Why is it that it's so bad for black men to have freak-offs in the rap industry, but not heavy metal, metallic people, rock stars, pop stars? They do it every day. There were people that were young white people that died of overdoses and drugs and AIDS than it was African Americans. But it's only until one of our higher ups, who was a billionaire, who made a mistake and he's wrong. Are they knocking on Clyde Davis's door? Where is the video from Epstein?
Why is it that none of those videos were talked about and none of those young white girls did we see in court, not one day after he took his life? But now we want to laugh and make a mockery of Puff Daddy and his baby oil and all the different stuff that they're saying that he did. He's innocent until proven guilty. And that's the problem with our Black community. We are the laughing stock of America, and we don't even know it. It doesn't matter if me or you or whoever, but we all got to stop this. And it's not even about Puffy anymore. This is just about us as African American people who laugh on someone else's downfall. And it's not just his downfall, it's affecting the Black community, because now they're looking into all of these people, and every one of them is African Americans. But no one's doing anything with Trump. No one did anything with Epstein in his videos. Nobody. What about Harvey Weinstein? What about the other white guy? What's going on with Clive Davis? Why is he not saying nothing now? And that was his mentor. Is anybody saying anything about Clive Davis? I mean, we got to stop as African Americans, because it's not funny. What he did, how much baby oil he bought, it's not a joke. It's not about him coming from a single family household or that he didn't have a father in his life. We make our own choices. But if you get into an industry that's, you know, at that time when Puffy was coming up and Notorious Big, I used to hang out at parties where they would throw parties back in the day. Okay, it was tons of white people there doing the same thing. But they got out and was able to make money. If it was a regular average Black man who did this, would it be on TV? Would we be talking about it? We're only talking about it because we have a A-lister African American billionaire. That's the only reason you're talking about it. So why does it take a celebrity to make our African people open their eyes? It shouldn't. It should be open just in general.
In the Black community, that is the Black community gods are entertainers and sports people and rappers. And you said it right. I mean, when you look at the comments of most of these people that's talking about the Diddy, when you're looking at the news outlet, it's majority African American. So you say, well, why can't African American do this and that? Because that's just not how African Americans are. And it clearly shows. Do you honestly think that African Americans next year is going to turn over a leaf and not going to make jokes and not to down their own people? They have been downing their own people from, I don't know when it started, but it's always been there. So I don't think it's going to change next year or next month or in 6 months. I understand that you want them to think differently, but the reality is that they're not.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, I certainly agree. It's just sad because I just hope there comes one day that not only yourself, I mean, I know that I heard, like you said, well, why does he get to have a second chance? If God can forgive, who are we to judge? So I don't understand anyone who's coming on the phones or these, you know, YouTubers or whomever who are laughing and making fun of a mockery of him. Okay, maybe it's what he learned. Maybe he was molested when he was young. Maybe he went to that Baptist Catholic school. I think it was a Catholic school. And I mean, let's not forget that pastors or preachers were touching young boys and doing things to these young boys that came out years later. I mean, we don't know what his situation was. But what I can tell you is people are saying, oh, he's living in hell on earth, he's in jail. But if that man is praying to God and he's on his knees and he's saying, God, I did wrong. God, I'm sorry. God, forgive me. God is a forgiving God. So for us people to say, well, why does he deserve a second chance? Well, then that means that any of us who sin, we don't get to go to heaven. Something's wrong with society because we're making a mockery of somebody. And if God is a forgiving God, let this man have his day in court. Let him be innocent until proven guilty. Now it's, oh, he was part of Britt Murphy's death and this and that. This is a game. And they're laughing at us because they have an opportunity to take advantage of it. I don't even believe half of what they're saying. And you might say I'm crazy, but I don't believe in this sex trafficking thing. I don't think that he was doing what they're saying. Yes, he was wrong for what he did to Cassie on the video. And it's not even a felony. It's a misdemeanor. If they were to have taken him to court for it, it would have been a misdemeanor. They have allowed the federal government to take that situation, blabber it all over the TV, and have people going with it. Now, once they got you going, now they're like, all right, so let's go ahead and throw some other things in. I don't believe he was trafficking anybody. I don't believe any of it. I think maybe he did what he did behind closed doors and lived his sexual life the way he chose to, and that is up to him. Okay? But to make a mockery of the situation, we don't know if it's true yet. So why are we demising him before he had his day in court? How do we know what's going to happen when he goes to court? And let's just say his attorneys got proof there was no children there, nothing on the video. Nobody under the age of 18 came and said he touched me or did something to me. What are we going to do then?
Well,
because he's not going to be able to.
I hear what you're saying, but I think that you may not understand how society works. And society will always judge, and it's nothing that you can really do about that. It's the wild. And to compare Hollywood to heaven, I don't think it's comparison. I think there's two different worlds.
I didn't compare Hollywood to heaven. I compared forgiveness. I said we have to learn to let people be forgiven. I was like, who are we to judge
that is a
him?
religion thing. Everybody does not believe in religious situations, and every religion is different. You have some religions that don't forgive, and you do have some religions that do. And that is really personal. Everybody is not going to forgive, and that is their right not to forgive.
Absolutely, I believe what you're saying. I certainly do agree. And I wasn't saying in a way to anyone's religion, so I certainly don't want you to think that. I was just saying in general that we have to give the man a benefit of the doubt first. Let him have his day in court. Let all the evidence come out, because at this point, the only evidence is guilty.
But that's not going to happen. That is not how nature works. That, okay, we're going to wait to the courts. That people are going to judge. That it doesn't even matter what facts. You do realize that people beliefs is going to be more influenced than the facts. It can be a fact, but if people believe something to be true, then it's going to be true, no matter if it is a fact. So people beliefs and how they perceive things is more influential than the facts.
And you're right, and it's certainly true. And that's what I was just speaking of, is that society's not going to change. I was just saying that people need to just step back and stop prejudging and allow situations to go out. If it's going to be a court trial, let it be a court trial. It is what it is. I mean, the guy is done. I mean, no matter if he's found innocent, he's going to be guilty, just like they did with O.J. Simpson. We still don't know if he really did anything. And even if he is innocent, he never got to live his life out of being an innocent man, because we already judge. But at the end of the day, when it's our time to come, we're going to be judged. And we're going to be judged. Were we fair people? Did we give people, fair judgment? And I can say I give a person fair judgment. I'm not going to criminalize somebody until I know the facts. There's people out there who don't do that. You're absolutely right. But they're no better than the things that Diddy did to their accusers. Because at this point,
well, it depends. Like we've been saying before, it's about your beliefs, right? It's about your beliefs. So you can say all that, but if I don't believe that to be true, then it's not true to me.
It's not true.
It's I mean, just like Diddy.
The last thing I would say, and I agree with you.
A crime is a crime, but in Diddy's mind, he can get away with crimes because he's Diddy. So he's going to do the crime because he can get away because he's Diddy. That is really not a crime to him because he's Diddy. And certain people, they know they make crimes, but they know they can get away with it, or they know have money or influence. So they do certain things based on who they are and what they believe.
I mean, what you said is true. That part is true. He felt he might have been bigger than, he had more things going for himself than what he thought. And, you can't beat the system. I get it. But with the same outcry that you said as far as how he feels and what other people feel is judgment, why doesn't the other race do the same thing to their people?
Because I'm just asking. we're not.
That doesn't make sense, though. It's because we've just like you said earlier to the other
Yeah, but
person was talking to
we're
you.
not the same. We don't think the same.
Mhm.
We don't do a lot of the same things. We have a different culture. When it goes to Indians or when it goes to people that's in Asia, they have different cultures.
Mhm.
They do things differently. We're different.
So that's what I'm saying. Why don't we learn from other people? Why do we have to be the nationality that looks stupid? Because whenever a black man gets knocked down, our own black people knock them down even more. We shut them out. We confiscate them. We blackball them. But we don't see that in these same, we don't see that in other ethnic backgrounds. And that's what I'm saying. Us as African American women, men, gay, straight, lesbian, whatever it is, we need to stop and wake up. I mean, just like right now, I mean, we're saying, well, we're different. Why are we so different? Why do we have to think the way we think? Why? I mean, if there's anything, we went through slavery.
Because of our experience, we have a different experience. I mean, you ask, why are we the crab of the barrel? They have constantly said with black people, the crab of the barrel, always pulling each other down. Some people say the reason why that is because we've been conditioned that way. We've been conditioned to fight against each other. We've been conditioned to see each other as enemies, and that has been pushed upon us for decades and centuries. So you can't, it just don't washes out. We still have those stains, those blood stains are still on our clothes. We are still stained. We are still hurting. We are still in mourning. We are still experiencing
But then
things.
we need to stop. We need to come together.
That's just not going to happen. Just stop. That's not going to, I don't know what it needs to happen, but just for you to say stop, maybe you can influence a few people, and maybe somebody is listening.
Oh, girl, I've been trying to do that for years and preaching about it. I mean,
you probably touched some people, because some people resonate to what you say.
Listen, I only called in because I like your show, and I like what you stand for, and like when it came up tonight, I gotta call in and voice an opinion.
I'm not going to say. I love when you call in, and I love when you guys.
Yes, I'd like you as and I appreciate you giving us that platform. What you said, I definitely agree with you. Like I said, it was just my feeling that with Chris Brown, he's a young man, he's made mistakes. And like the other person said, she goes, but there's so many other people that have done the same thing. Why are we so hard on our own men? And it's sad. And I just feel like a lot of these accusers that come out, I don't feel bad for them as much, because I'm like, why did it take for 20 years or when something went down for him for y'all to come out? Why didn't you come out before?
I can
it's just certain things I don't agree with.
I can answer that. Well, why didn't I come out before if I was an accuser? First of all, 20 years ago, that was a different world. 20 years ago, they were not listening to any accuser of victims. 20 years ago, if you were even to mumble that you wanted to get justice, most likely they will hunt you down and probably take you off the board. 20 years ago, nobody was listening. We have social media now where a lot of more people get a voice. 20 years ago, no platform will probably talk to you because they were probably all paid off by Chris Brown and Diddy. I mean, this is the time of reckoning. This is the time where you get your revenge. This is the time where these high profiles are going down. The tables have turned.
That part is true. I mean, like I said, what you said, I feel the same way. But I just feel like not everyone is honest. Just like you said, that the society has already proven someone based upon what they feel. But that should go to the same for accusers, because we're just going to believe every woman, and I'm a woman. And I mean, I can't say every woman is telling the truth either.
But the accusers are getting it. I mean, you have people out here that worship Chris Brown. So any accuser or woman that comes out, they're going to give them a hard time. So I think both sides are getting it.
Yeah, that part is certainly true. I agree with that. And that, I was going to mention that, but you said it before I could even say anything about it. So, I mean, hey, we're here to agree and disagree. I just, pray that us as African Americans learn to heal from our past, from what we feel as though we're told to do or had been told how we should handle things. I just think it's 2025 coming up, and we as people got to stand together, because at the end of the day, the race card on the other end, they're going to stick with their people. And it's just going to be like that. And we as African Americans need to learn to stick together. Even if we have one body that falls, we have to lift each other up so we can strengthen society for the rest of them.
Oh,
we can't just let them take them off.
I just want to say, oh my God, that sounds so, I don't know what it sounds. I know it sounds like great to you. However, that is not the direction I foresee. We are not going that direction. Nobody is going to pick a side based on your skin color, especially in the Black community. We're not picking a candidate because they're Black. You hear a lot of that. The Black individuals, the Black community is the most divided that it's ever been. I hear in Africa, they're even divided. So we're not coming even close to the kumbaya. I'm your skin color. Let's stick together. And some people will feel like that is so disingenuous, because when these brothers that you claim and these kings and queens, when they're about to rob me, they don't say, you know what, you're Black, let's excuse you. Hell no. They're going to target me more likely because I'm Black. Let's get this Black bitch. If we get her down, the police ain't coming for her ass. This is an easy ass target. So, I mean, all this, let's stick up for Black when it's so not real. It's just like a fairy tale, more hopeful. And it's false fucking hope. That's going to get me fucked up at the end. I mean, Black people all around, they have different morals and values. I'm not going to side because you're Black. I'm going to side because my values, my morals, we think alike. That's who I'm going to side with. Not because of the color of your skin, because what does that mean?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
We all are not even raised the same. I mean, our parents are not the same. Maybe, back in the day, all Black people, they were raised the same way. They had the same values, the structure, but we're so diverse.
Listen, you're so right with that. I'll tell you real quick, because I know you have to go. I don't want to hold anyone else from calling, but I feel some kind of way, because I know when we as African-American women, we see, our Black men feeling as though people are always out to get them, or, and I kind of was like, my husband works in the criminal system, so, he's not Black or white. But for the first time, I experienced something as a mother, and I said, wow, this is what it's like to be a Black man. I was riding with my 20-year-old son and 15-year-old son, and my 20-year-old was driving. And we drove in an area where a white lady passed us and looked at my son, and he coincidentally had cornrows in, but he's a college student, football player, straight A student, very good kid, because I've raised him well. And she looked at us, and my son was like, why did she stare at us like that? I was like, I don't know, but let's keep minding our business. We go to park. And when we parked, one police officer pulled up, 2 police officers pulled up, 3 and 4 police officers surrounded his car. And I'm in there with him in the back seat, okay? They came up to my son, and he rolled down the window, and they was like, is there something going on here? And my son said, no, sir, what did I do? And he said, someone called in on you and said you causing trouble. How? We were driving to go in a parking lot of a grocery store, and we went around the back entrance to get in. So I lifted my head from in the back and said, I'm his mother. And do you not know, it was a totally different look. It must have been a false call. I said, no, I have a question for you, because his father works in the criminal system. I was like, why did you stop my son, and why did you approach him? Why? Because he was, a white woman called in and said he was causing trouble. And it broke my heart, because I had to experience that with my son in the car with him.
And the police officer didn't come up nice. He only became nice when I said I'm his mother. What's the problem? So when you say it's not color, that's a lie. It is color because they didn't, when she said it's a black guy in a car, what was he doing? Nothing more than anyone else does on an everyday basis. So it's sad, and it took 4 of them to come and block off our car. I couldn't believe it. But I was thankful I was there because it could have been a bad situation, and at least I was there to protect my kids. But I was like, that was the worst feeling as a Black woman, to see how aggressive they were with my son, and he didn't do one thing but got a phone call from a white woman. And when I told them his family background, who my son was, who his parents were, we are somebody. We're not just people from the hood.
Yeah.
And it was a whole different aspect.
I'm sorry that you had to experience that. And I will say, this is what people were telling me when I was coming up. The way you present yourself in the public, it matters. You know, and I know a lot of times you want to dress the way you want to dress, but you do have to realize by you dressing and looking the way you look, you will get stereotyped. And that's not to say it's right, but it's the reality out here. If you dressed out and you have on a mini skirt with your breast out and long ass weave, you could be a straight A student all you want to, but people will perceive you to be something else that you may not be. And that's why parents, when I was coming up, were very strict. You have to dress, pull your pants up, you know, dress like this, talk like you got common sense.
90
so
seconds.
People can take you seriously. And just like that Caucasian lady may stereotype that Black son, the Black people may stereotype him too, to say, well, you know, he may be down, or let's get him, or, you know, I think every group does it. From white to Black, they all stereotype based on a look. And it's not right, but that's nature. And
60
this is
seconds.
the world that we live in. We don't live in like a Muslim area where everybody wears the same thing. So we really cannot judge because we all got the same gown on, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's true what you said. I mean, listen, I put it this way. My kids don't wear pants down. They know me. When we go out, you dress appropriately. You don't sit in a restaurant with a hat on. I'm old school. But regardless.
Or a hoodie. Did you hear that the KKs have switched? This is what I'm hearing. I'm not saying it's true, but the KK have transitioned to the Black man with the black hoodie, because the Black man with the black hoodie is taking out a lot of these Black kids.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that's wild, ain't it? They always got that damn hoodie.
That's the first. The hoodie thing. I won't even let my kids. One time, I think one of my sons went in the store and he had his hoodie on because it was raining. I said, just keep the hoodie off. I don't care if it's raining. You don't put it on your head. It's sad that our generation, that's what I'm just saying in general with the phone call, is it's sad that our own generation, we've been through so much. And we've gotten to a point where African-American men can be a billionaire. If they made their mistakes and wrong choices, I get it. But I'm just hoping and praying that our generation wakes up before it's too late, because we have these millennium kids coming into this world, and they're not coming into a safe. I remember going to high school.
I got to cut you off. I got a lot of people saying, let's get back to the topic. But I enjoy calling you.
Well, talking to you. I enjoy you, and God bless you.
Gonna let you go. All right. So let's get these likes up. Are you guys enjoying the live stream tonight? If you are, press 5 so I know to continue them. Other than that, I will continue to do the uploads. All right. So let's go on to our next caller. Caller from 801. You're live on the air.
Hey, Gigi. Is it okay if I clarify a couple things real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was listening into your last caller. They did mention forgiveness. They mentioned second chances. I just wanted to kind of like clarify a couple things with that. Your forgiveness, the forgiveness is for the victim. The victim is to forgive a situation and let it out of their heart. that's not for everybody else to do because nothing happened to us. We can't forget something that never happened to us. You know what I'm saying? So with this Diddy
I
situation,
don't know. I disagree.
and he's harming all these
I
people.
disagree with that. Because I mean, I don't forgive an uncle of mine that was married to the family that put hands on my auntie. I don't forgive him.
Nah, I understand. Okay,
He didn't do
that I'm
anything to
just
me,
saying
but
from
he
a
did do
religious
something to me
perspective, what
because
she's saying, kind of,
me just
that's not
hearing
how it
about it
works.
affected me. But and like I said about religion, I think people fail to realize religion is based on perspective. Everybody has their own personal
Exactly.
belief. You got so many
It is.
religions within a religion. You have so many doctrines. It's so many. It's really based. It's really
Mhm.
personal, honestly, because you got 5 Christians. They all believe differently.
Yeah. So that's my thing though. It's like you can't really say for somebody to forgive something if it didn't happen to you. That's what I'm trying to get at right now. I understand everybody doesn't fall into forgiveness because I don't forgive everything myself, right? And so as far as the second chance, I wanted to also prove a point. Okay, I've had a family member literally lose their life over a conversation, right? They got killed. Okay, it was my mom. She got killed by her father, by my father. But it's just the fact that people talk about second chances. Like, okay, you know, these men, they put in their hands on women. Why don't they get a second chance? There's women who lose their life every single day. They don't get a second chance. They're in the ground. They're dead. Do you understand? So it's just kind of like when you say giving second chances, you need to understand like that's not really how things work. We don't have a second chance at life. We have one life. So it's like,
and for me,
you can't just kind of dismiss things like that.
For me, you get a second chance. Ain't you living? Ain't you breathing? Go ahead and get your issues and unpack them. But I don't think you need to be on a platform,
Exactly.
dancing, singing, doing whatever. Your second chance don't have to be in a form of getting praised. Because
And
you
he
still
really
haven't,
hasn't. Okay,
you
so Chris
still
Brown,
haven't worked out
he
your
hasn't lost nothing.
issues. Figure your shit out first. That should be your first thing.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, I listen more into like the Diddy situations, like his cases and stuff. I don't think none of that stuff is really false because it comes from different years, different evidence. There's even tapes around of the things he's done. So once they get all that stuff and they put it all together, it's just kind of like, I understand, you know, you're not guilty until, well, you're innocent until proven guilty. But at this point, all these different years, similar stories, different times, you know, they got proof of stuff going on. They got proof of him lying inside the, you know, Cassie situation to begin with, saying he didn't put hands on her, boom, a video drops. And he's still saying like, oh, well, I was messed up. Like, you get what I'm saying? He's been lying all along. Why would you want to believe Diddy?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
he's
I
a
don't know. For
liar.
me,
He's a beast. I mean, he always gonna be a beastie animal.
and then somebody had mentioned the Tiana Taylor thing I had said earlier. I wasn't trying to say like, oh, you know, he put his hands on her, but I was just saying like the way he was getting aggressive with her, Chris Brown, was kind of out of pocket because she is a woman at the end of the day. I understand, you know, we need to protect black men and all these things, but we're getting killed by black men at the same time. So when are we getting protected? That's kind of like what I be trying to get at here. I'm not saying all, of course. I don't like to demonize, you know, black men or nothing like that. But if we look at the statistics, black women are getting killed by black men. That's just facts.
I'm not protecting nobody. So don't none of y'all come to me talking about protect anybody. I'm not protecting nobody. Shit. You better protect your damn self. Protect yourself.
Exactly. That's what I had to learn.
Protect yourself. Protect yourself. And to me, if Chris Brown would protect himself, he would not be in a position that he was in now. And what does that look like? Protect yourself. That meaning that if you're Chris Brown, if you're with a woman that's aggressive, get out of the relationship. That is a form of protecting yourself because you know you are emotional and you may do something that you will regret. So I need to protect myself by not being with the individual that make me feel horrible thoughts. I need to protect
Take
myself.
myself out the situation.
Okay, another situation to protect yourself. If you know you may be weak-minded and you may get into some drugs, I'm going to protect myself and I'm not going to be around these parties because I know I'm not strong enough to resist, you know, so I'm not going there. I'm not going to go to the parties because I know that I'm going to stay for the freak offs and I may get some issues or I may get an STD or I may indulge and I may like this shit too much. So I'm going to protect myself and I'm not even going to go. Do you see how protecting yourself can cause you not to be in so many issues? Protect yourself. It's just as simple.
Exactly.
Protect yourself.
Yeah. You don't have to be in that situation at all. They just allow themselves to be in it.
Protect yourself. As simple as that. Protect yourself. God damn it.
But yeah, Gigi, that was all I was going to say. I'm going to let the other callers talk because I already spoke earlier, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Do you all understand what that means to protect yourself? Do you get that? If you understand, press 2. It's very simple to protect yourself. And often you guys don't do it. People don't do it for whatever reason. They don't protect themselves. I don't know. Use a condom. Protect yourself. But you know, they don't want to use condoms. Why are you meeting people off dating apps that you don't even know their last name? You don't know these individuals, but yet you're hopping your ass and you're meeting individuals that could be a killer. Protect yourself. Why are you in a rush? What's the fucking rush of meeting a stranger? Huh? Because they look cute? Who gives a fuck? Protect yourself. I mean, it's so easy. Protect yourself, okay? If you don't drink and drive, just say, you know what? I'm just going to take an Uber. I'm going to protect myself. And protecting yourself is also protecting everybody else. You don't get that? I mean, it's so simple. Protect yourself. Okay? So I'm not protecting nobody. Protect yourself, and I'm going to protect myself. And it's going to be easy on everybody else. Okay? Calling from 215. You're live on the air.
Yeah. Hi.
Talk to me. Yes.
I'm just calling because I understand what the lady you was talking to about her son. We, as African Americans, we've been endured a whole lot of trauma. And it's never going to go away. Because if you ask me, it's getting worse. And it's embedded in us. All of us want to be something we're not. Half of the African American people want to be Caucasians. They don't want to. Young girls when we, because you know why? We've been told our African hair is bad. So guess what we do? We jump on the other bandwagon of showing you we're going to make our hair straight and long. Is it going to change? They want us to conform like them. They want us to, and with Diddy, he went too far. He sodomized that boy, Usher. He sodomized that boy, the Caucasian kid. It's sad. He got to pay for what he did. He went too far. And there's no understanding that. All the judges done heard all of this. They definitely going to throw the book at him. Ain't no ifs, what's about it. Everybody done heard the case already and formed their opinion already. So where do you think in the money, they showing that the money is not going to buy him freedom no more. But he should, okay, I can understand him doing it one time, but he did it over and over and over. He put drugs in people's drinks.
I'm caller. I can't understand him doing it one time because you know better, because you have been blessed in a position. You should be grateful and humble and do right. It's no need for him to do what he has to do with the freak offs. That is something that is unhumane. That is something that animalistic. That is something that feeds his ego. I'm sorry. You don't get a one time with me. You don't. You know it's wrong. And you thought about it and you did it. You thought about it and you did it and you went through with it and you planned it. You don't get a one time with me.
It's sad. But thank you for listening. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
I thank you for calling. All right. So the phone lines. Oh, Lord. Now, do you guys want me to reopen up the phone lines and stay on longer? If you want me to, press 5. If you want me to cut it off here and just keep it sweet, press 2. What do you guys want? Okay. All right. So I'm going to try. You guys know sometimes with these
Thank you for
phone
using
lines,
Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
I have issues with the phone lines. I'm using Blog Talk Radio and I call them every so often because I have major issues. This whole year, I've been having issues. Sometimes it does not work and I pay a subscription every month. And it's really frustrating. So I'm going to try again to see if it works, if it lets me through. Let's do it. If it doesn't, you guys know that I have tried. Okay. All right. And
welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
All right. So we're going to see. All right.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear
your show is scheduled to start in 33 seconds.
So the phone lines should work now. We're going to see in 20 seconds if it allows it to process. It's doing a countdown now. So sometimes you guys say, hey, I cannot get in. That's because
your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3,
there we go.
2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
All right, so look like we have success. How this works with Blog Talk Radio is they give you 2 hours for every show. After 2 hours, you will not be able to call in anymore unless I restart a new show with Blog Talk Radio. So right now, I just restarted it. So we do have some phone calls. So call in. We're talking about the Diddy and Chris Brown case. Let's get the likes up. The likes are not liking enough, especially if you guys want me to continue this platform. I don't mind doing it, you guys. You guys know I love you guys. But when I'm not getting supported, I tend to do other things. And you guys know I do other things. So help me, help you, and like this video, subscribe, and comment and engage. And I thank everybody that has called in. Agree to disagree, doesn't matter. I'm glad that you guys are engaging. I thank everybody for the comments, and I just want to thank everybody for the likes. I appreciate you all. Calling from 347, you're live on the air.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
The situation with the woman when she was basically defending Diddy, she talked about racism, and
Can we
honestly,
turn the radio?
really,
It's a sound in your background that's distracting. If you can just turn your radio off,
Yeah.
the TV down, that would be great.
Yeah, I could do that.
Thank you.
The thing is, when she was talking about the racism and color and with Diddy, honestly, we all experience racism one way or another, and I'm sure one of the people in the comment section can agree that everyone has experienced racism, especially when you are black, right? Everyone has experienced it. So when she was talking about her little boy, I empathize with her, but I mean, we are all not an exception to the rule when it comes to racism. It happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens. But to use that as a front saying, oh, well, Diddy is black, so we have to basically defend him and everything. Why? Why do we have to defend him when he has done such abhorrent things within our own Black community. And that's where I see some comments say that she's an enabler, and I honestly agree with that. Because just because the white community does it, or some people that she labeled and said has done these things, why should we make it an exception to the rule for our own Black community to have this done to us? Like, we should pull out, as they say, the bad apples within our Black community, because we're only allowing ourselves to be a victim. And this whole situation with God, we need to forgive. The only person that Diddy needs to go and be apologetic to is his victims and towards God, because that conversation needs to be between God and his victims and everything, because he's done it over and over and over and over again. And honestly, he seems smug about it. He seems condescending about it. He was there. He knew what he did. And I'm thinking for myself, he honestly felt like he would get away with it. He would get away with it. He even said that he was going to sell his own mom's property and all of that stuff just to get out of jail. Normal people, normal Black people wouldn't be able to afford billions of dollars just to get a payout, just to not stay in jail. So yes, he's a millionaire and all of that, but I mean, he's a bad apple, and we shouldn't make excuses for him. And people keep coming up with this thing about, oh, with the victims. Oh, well, if he had done it, shouldn't they have did a police report? Listen, he connect the dots. Diddy said he didn't beat Cassie. He said that he didn't beat Cassie, and it just turned out, smacked him in his face, that the video came out and exposed that yes, he in fact beaten, kicked, threw stuff at her. That what Cassie was saying was actually true, and it turned out Diddy had to make a fake ass apology video. So and they saying about the whole victims and they should have a police report. He paid off the hotel to not have that video shown. So if he's able to do that, who's not to say he could pay off all the witnesses so it makes the victim look like a liar? Like we're acting as if he's some regular smuggler Black person off the street. He's not like that. He's misogynistic. He's conceited. He acts like he can do whatever he wants, and he's not a person within our Black community that we should accept. Black people like that, we need to root them out, because we shouldn't be withholding people like that within our Black community. It's just wrong. You're saying that kids get the R and you know, all the heinous things, and we just say, oh, you're Black, you get a Black free card. That's not how life goes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said that. Like,
go ahead.
And one more thing. Like, I empathize with you when you were saying, like, when someone, your family member, right, had hurt the person within your family. We all have had, like, skeletons are in our closet or bad people within our family. Like, about the whole forgiveness. That's still between your situation. I can empathize. I can say that's horrible. That's just a horrible experience that you've gone through, as well as your family members. And you don't have to forgive, because that's still on you if you're willing to forgive that individual. Just like everyone has people that they wouldn't want to forgive, right? But that's still between them. I can empathize with you on your situation, but it's, for some situations, we can't understand what another person has gone through. We can't say, oh, I forgive you, when that other caller is saying, but we haven't experienced it. There are some things that we have never experienced, that we can never understand, but we can empathize with that person. The victims that Diddy has gone through, Some of those things we have never gone through. We can empathize with them, sympathize with them, but with this whole forgiveness, that's between the victim and God. But the difference is Diddy doesn't seem to care. He doesn't seem to care at all about what he's done. Because if he did, he wouldn't continue with this behavior. He wouldn't continue. Just recently, like I said, he hit Cassie. So it goes to show that he just doesn't care. He doesn't care about what he's done. He doesn't care about what he did. And us as a Black community, we need to stop enabling. We need to stop saying, oh, he's a man, he's Black, and he's got a lot of money, and he's trying to put the Black man down, and because he's a billionaire, well, you know, we have to protect him. Who's going to protect us? We got the white people within our, well, I'm not saying all, just like not all Black men are heinous people. We got some good Black men around. But we still got heinous white people that are targeting on our back. So you're saying we also have within our own community to have our own community, our own skin folk go and attack us as well? Like, make it make sense. It doesn't make any freaking sense. And I need to, and personally, it just gets me all riled up. It gets me heated when I hear all these excuses, because I'm not of an older generation. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going in my 30s, and to hear all this nonsense when it comes to, I don't know how old these callers are, but to hear all these nonsense about, we need to protect them. We need to salvage them. Who's going to protect all the young little Black girls and little Black boys? Are they going to be a victim? Are we going to be a stereotype that just because, there was an MSNBC reporter, and he said a saying, I forgot his name, but he said, just because we're skin folk doesn't mean we're kin folk. Stop with this delusion as if just because we all have the same color, they're all friends. Not all of us are friends.
Well, for me, I just want to tap in on it. You cannot use the Black excuse when it comes to Diddy, just because Diddy never looked out for any Black individuals. Diddy have dogged out. Hey, he have stolen from so many Black artists. He have trashed so many Black artists. He has essayed so many Black artists. He has done some horrible things. He have even killed, allegedly, a lot of Black people. So nobody cannot use the Black excuse as if, you know, Diddy really cares about the Black community. He don't give a damn about no Black community. And then the stuff that he puts out, he does not put out Black excellence. The individuals he put on the board, like Young Miami, she is no host. She has no talent, but he's going to push her just because he can piss on her. I mean, these are the individuals that he is putting on the board. Individuals he can piss and shit on and can control. They have no talent whatsoever. And then her pissy ass get an award above other Black individuals that really worked hard and they are very talented and they deserve that fucking award. And Diddy is pushing out people that he can piss and shit on that has no talent to get award. I mean, everything that he does is just horrible and backwards.
It is backward. And I'm not saying all about community, because I don't want people to raise torches and say I'm something that I shouldn't, but like, we should accept excellence within our Black community. Just like we want to protect our Black, innocent Black kids, right? We should accept innocence within our Black community. And Diddy has proven himself to be a liar. He has proven himself to be a liar. There are videotapes. There are witnesses talking and discussing about all these horrible things that he's done. And people are saying, well, you know, he's innocent until proven he's innocent until proven guilty in court. Well, in the public eye, he's guilty.
I have to say
He's
something
guilty.
about that is too. You have to realize that you have people that worship these dark lords. I mean, these are dark lords, just like the Italian mob. In the Black community and hip hop community, you have people that worship these individuals. They love dark lords. They see them as powerful. They wish they can get away with the crimes that they do. They like the dark energy. So it's not surprising for them to make an excuse or to say those type of things, because again, how did the Dark Lord become Dark Lord? Is from their individuals that support them. So I'm not surprised by that. I expect that. That's how, I mean, what else do you expect? But we do have some other.
Just saying.
Go ahead, because we do have some other callers. Go ahead.
It's just that it's like the people that say, well, you know, racism was bad, but like, you know, some of our slaves loved it. It's like that type of excuse of an analogy. Oh, yes, slavery was bad. What Diddy did was bad, but he's black. He's our kin, so you know it's okay. Don't make a big problem of it. It's all right. It's like that, just delusional type of mindset. But if it happens, this is the thing. If it happened to your kids, if it happened to your family member, you'd be hot. You'd be enraged. So why is it an exception when it's happened to everybody else? You can't make a wrong right, as my grandmother said. My grandmother is 99 years old. My aunt is 100 years old. And if she heard all of this nonsense that Diddy has done, that's another thing. I blame the parents too, because they coddled him and they didn't raise him right. How is it that is the mother still alive? Because he was willing to sell his mother's property.
She's still alive. They said that she was a pimp.
So what? Think about the mom. The mom. What has she done? She didn't. She hasn't disciplined him enough.
No.
For him to do this nonsense?
No, she's a streetwalker. She's a whore.
Like, look at the environment and the upraising he lived. And you're saying, so the mom gave him an excuse, so we as a public have to give him an excuse too?
No, whoever put Diddy on the board, whoever picked Diddy to be where he at, why are y'all allowing these individuals in these certain platforms to have so much influence?
I've had enough of this whole enabling. He's black. He's our kin. That's really what nagged me. All of that nonsense. Now, I don't know a whole lot. I don't really want to dwell on a lot of what he's done because I know he's done a effing lot.
Yeah.
But
caller, I appreciate you. I do have some other callers, okay? So I have to let you go. But
okay,
please call back. Calling from 346, you're live on the air.
Oh, hey. Okay. I just wanted to say I agree with everything the other callers have said. So I'm going to try my best not to repeat anything she said already. But I do think what's going on with Diddy's attorney and the people that you guys were both just speaking about is an attempt, but it's a very paper thin. I can see straight through it. Attempt to change. It's called, to me, change the subject or change the topic tactic. It's, let's not talk about what this person did. Let's talk about what this person has done for society. And let's throw a whole culture of people in the middle of it, hoping that these people will be like, well, you know what? Let's just give this person an opportunity to have their time in court. And, I think people should pay very close attention to those people that say things like, let's give this person their time in court, not because everyone doesn't deserve due process. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I do believe we should, on some level, give people the opportunity to prove their innocence if they are innocent. I do believe in that, because if we don't give them that, then everything crumbles. It becomes a very slippery slope. But what bothers me is the let's change the topic problem or tactic. It's like, let's change the subject. Let's talk about what Cassie did. Let's imagine that she stole this alleged billionaire's clothing, and that was the reason he had to run down the hall and, beat the brakes off her. Let's start with the denial and the delusions, like the lady said previously. Also, too, let's not put, because I was listening to Ray J, which I have no more respect for at all, on the Chris Cuomo show the other day. I think it's like News Nation or something. And he was on there saying all of these things, but not really saying anything. He was like, this is about a black man who is an icon and who is very wealthy, and we see him as this. And he kept referencing we as if he's referencing the whole black culture and the whole culture of hip hop and the entertainment industry. And he put everybody on that same bus and said, we don't need to be shaming anyone right now or pointing fingers. I just want to be crystal clear. Yes, we do. If this man is guilty of what everyone, basically all those lawsuits have said he's guilty of, then this is it should have been his time 30 years ago. The first time was enough for me. It should never happen, but that's when we should have started. And since he got away with it for 30 years, how dare you sit on the platform and say that it isn't about that. It's about, we need to do better in the black culture. This is not about a black culture. This is about a sexual deviant savage who has spent 30 years at least, allegedly, committing crimes against humanity, period. That is who it's about. It is not about protecting a black man or protecting someone who's become famous or infamous or have a lot of influence and power and money. Who has Diddy protected? Like, name them all. Who is he? Who is this man protected?
No one. He's a selfish person. Everybody knows that.
Right. And the last thing I really just want to say is, it bothers my soul when people victim shame. And they have 1,000 questions for the victim. Why was she there? Why did she stay? She's just here for a money grab. She's just here for clout. She's just here because she wants to, be famous and this, that, and the third. Well, that could be all true. But why do we have 15,000 questions for the victim or alleged victim? And we're going to wait and see for the alleged perpetrator. We're going to give them their due justice. But with the alleged victim, no. We need to start today. Like trying to shame this person into a submission. And it's just, you need to think about why you're doing that. And while you're at it, think about it. If we take the celebrity out of it, right? Would you want Diddy to be your next door neighbor if they sit around a newspaper in your neighborhood and said, this person has moved in, this person's accused of all of these things, and they have 25 lawsuits at this point? I think it's up to like 100 lawsuits. They have all these lawsuits. Do you want them to live next door to you? All of the people in the chat, on platforms and wherever else, would readily say, oh, hell no, we do not want this criminal or this person that even appears to be a criminal in our neighborhood. We don't want him. We wouldn't care if he was rich. We wouldn't care if he was black. We wouldn't care if he was influential. We would be like, I don't want that deviant person, especially a sex offender, in my neighborhood, or an alleged sex offender in my neighborhood. You have to be careful what you're saying around your children and defending this person simply because they're black. It doesn't have anything to do with black. It has to do with his egregious behavior and nobody else. So it bothers me that people do that. And the last thing I want to say is, I think it's very interesting that Hollywood, I won't even say Hollywood, I would say the entire industry, the entire entertainment industry has suddenly went on mute. Like nobody, until today I saw D.L. Hughley say something, but nobody is really saying anything. And I guess it's because people are probably on videotape doing some things that maybe they didn't know they were doing, or maybe they participated and knew that they did it. I don't know. But I've never seen in history this many celebrities, the entirety, be 100% on mute for weeks. Well, really, this has been going on for months that I haven't heard anybody. That's all I want to say. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. Call in, you guys. Let your voice be heard. Calling from 254. You're live on the air. 254.
Hi, how you doing today?
Good. Glad you can call in. What are your thoughts about Diddy or Chris Brown?
Well, my thoughts is about Diddy, right? And so the last caller, she mentioned, she basically mentioned something about Ray J. But me, I love to go back and listen to things, right? So I went back and I listened to that whole Drink Champs video. You remember the Drink Champs, the infamous Drink Champs video with Diddy and Fabulous and Jada Kiss? So most people don't, they just listen to that little part where he was talking about it. If you would have went all the way back, and I got the timestamp for you. The timestamp is, let me go right here, is 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 11 seconds. If you start from there, Diddy actually says that he basically, he don't, in so many words, and I can still say allegedly until you listen to it, but in so many words, he drugged Ray J that night. And how you know is if you go back and listen to it and you hit that timestamp, he'll be like, well, you know, we was all in Vegas and things end up in drinks. And so, you know, whatever. And Ray J was with us drinking. Well, why is things in drinks if you're at a party in Vegas, which is thrown by Diddy? So, you know, but he did basically say in so many words because Ray J was with him. Because Ray J walked around Vegas for 24, I think 24 to 48 hours with a tight hoodie, red hoodie, and flip-flops on. And they talked about it and how he actually drugged, Diddy basically say he had stuff in drinks. And so if Ray J is sitting there drinking, and then after that he go postal for about 48 hours, what is that telling me? 24 to 48 hours. But y'all have to listen past that point, and he will tell you with things in drinks. So, I mean, it's never been brought up, but he definitely drugged Ray J that night.
Well,
so that was just me.
Thank you for bringing that up. But it's no surprise when you tell me that. I think that he has done that to most men and most people around him. You know, protect yourself. Why be around Diddy?
Yeah.
If I was in the industry, you couldn't pay me to go to a Diddy party. You couldn't pay me to sit down next to Diddy, even if I was in the music industry. Why would I be close to Diddy in music? It's nothing Diddy can offer me, honestly. What can Diddy offer you?
Right. Nothing. Right. But, you know, I was just, the reason why I brought that up and I brought that to you is look how long ago that was. And we do hear about the women, and a lot of our women go through it, and we never get the health care. And when I say help, I'm talking about help from the police department. I'm talking about care with your mental health after that, because you go through it forever and ever. And also compensation. We never get none of that, right? But he also does it to men too. And the sad part about it is the same ones who's championed for him are the same ones that are his victims too. They just don't know how to come out to the public maybe and say they was a victim, but he's a victim. This is a lot of them, just like you said, a lot of men. And it's sad what he did, you know. So thank you for allowing me to speak on your platform today.
Anytime. And please call back. I love when you guys engage and call in. All right. Calling from 808. You're live on the air.
Hi, Gigi. How you doing?
Good. Hey, how's it going, Tony?
All right. Gigi, I'd like to bring three things to the forefront that everybody should take into consideration. You know, for those that say, well, you know, people knew what they were doing. They knew what party was going to. Here's a statement that I would like to make in reference to that statement. And that is, you know, from 1999 thus forward, a lot of young ladies, a lot of young men had great ambitions of being in the entertainment business. And because of that, they were looking to do whatever was possible to get their foot in. And if someone with the power of shaping and forming someone's life in the entertainment business, such as Diddy did, and others too, allegedly, they get caught up in that life. The other factor to that is once they even agree at being at the parties and end up being abused because they wanted to be there, that's a whole other issue. But here's the grave point that no one speaks of and no one considers. And that's one word: consent. It doesn't matter if you go to party, participate at the party on your own. If you are rugged, if alcohol is involved, you cannot consent. That is the law. You cannot. So once you are inebriated and S acts take place, somebody's going to jail if there's a complaint made. And that's in every state of the union. You must be able to consent. If you cannot consent, if your partner that you're with is inebriated and you're inebriated and y'all have an act and that a complaint gets made, you are going to prison because they must be able to consent, and you cannot consent drinking or rugging. You can't. And that is the problem that Diddy have right there. That's his problem. That's the problem. And we got to call an ace and a spade and name it just for what it is. People were not able to consent. Young men, young women, remember something. If you are partying and you feel like you meet the love of your life and that other person wasn't with it the next morning because y'all were drinking, you might end up with a charge because there was no consent. Do it sober. Enjoy each other sober. Then you know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, anytime. What's your thoughts about Chris Brown before I let you go? Did you hear about the documentary?
Did I hear what now?
The documentary that they're come forward with Chris Brown?
Yeah, that documentary's been sitting and lingering for a long time. And on that one, I don't have any inside details on it because I never worked with or did anything with Chris Brown. As a matter of fact, I've never even done a show with him.
Okay.
So I specifically don't know about him. However, I can backtrack and say that, that's part that's part of the whole Diddy culture right there. And I call it the Diddy culture because they all exponentially increase with their celebrity by basically selling their souls to Diddy. And that's what happened. When they have these masquerade parties and you think it's just a masquerade party, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you the inside. And Gigi, you may have known this here. Whenever there's a masquerade party and there's a mask involved and it ain't Halloween, that is an initiation. And if you don't know anything about it, you don't want to find out. You really don't. A lot of y'all that are listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They have certain type of parties, certain financial classes have those parties, and those parties are geared towards two things and two things only: graping men or graping women. But it's going to go down.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tony. All right, we're going to let him go. Calling from 301, you're live on the air.
What's up, Gigi? How you been?
Hey, KFC, how are you?
I'm doing good. I got a question for you real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, remember they said Kim Porter came out with this book, right? And they were telling people to go get the book because it was explaining a lot about Diddy. Do you see how Albie Shore went after the book and said it was fake?
Yeah.
You see how his children went after the author who wrote the book, and then the author had to release his statement saying that he was telling the story in his own words? A lot of people are doing that. Like, once again, an indictment doesn't mean a person is found guilty. It still has to be proven. So everybody right now is just trying to make money off of Diddy. Obviously, they don't have enough substantial witnesses. That's why they letting all these girls come forward. They say that this happened to them and that happened to them because they truly don't have a genuine case against this man. Because if this man was making movies, which in my opinion, I think that he was, that's why when he was calling off all those names, when that little boy was in his lap, I think that's what Diddy was doing. He was just making adult entertainment movies. And people were paying him to see that, to watch that. That's it. So if that's the case and that's filmed and he was recording it in Los Angeles, Florida, New York, that is not against the law. Because if it is, why can you go on your computer now and Google stuff in and see the same thing? Like anything you want to see that's on Diddy's tape, you can Google it right now and watch those type of films if that's what you want to see. So what I'm saying is, if he was bringing women in to be in the movies, that's not trafficking them. Like, all people coming up with these rumors and lies saying children were being trafficked, why come their parents are not saying anything? They can remain a Jane Doe or a John Doe, but they're not calling it out. Well, Michael Jackson, allegedly, those young children, their parents stood by them and were there for their kids when they went after Mike. No children's parents are coming forward or saying anything of that nature ever happened to their kids. So where was he getting these kids from? Like, it doesn't make sense. So it's like, once again, everybody's trying to get on it to make money. Even 50 Cent is coming out with something, the downfall of Diddy, whatever. I mean, how can you do all that? I mean, just think about it. The people he was hanging around, like the Game, the rapper The Game, he used to be a stripper. Stevie J used to be in that lifestyle. So when you sit back and really think about it, him saying, when you going to let me take you shopping, I don't think that has nothing to do with when you're going to let me do something to you that is illegal. I think he's saying, like, when you're going to be in one of these movies or one of these films I'm doing. That's why I think a lot of people hung around him and he paid them for that. But if you did a film with Diddy and he only paid you $50,000 and that was 10 years ago, of course, if you see an opportunity to get more money now, you're going to do that. But I mean, I'm sure he had people sign stuff before they even engaged in those type of movies. Because look how long it's been. So, I mean, it doesn't add up. You know, in fact, they're telling the stuff that happened over 10 years ago should even be dismissed because it's old. So that's what I'm saying. So, like, why come everybody's jumping on that? Like, everybody knows when it comes to Black adult films, we don't have a lot of producers that make that. And that's in demand. So it's like, what's strange about him making adult movies? I'm being serious. Like, what would be wrong with that? Because it's legal to do it. Like, you got white people who make adult movies. Why come when Black people make them, it has to be something illegal? And they're saying that the people were drugged on the tape. But, I mean, if some of that stuff, like ecstasy and stuff like that, those pills have different colors to them. They do different things to your body. You know, some 6 hours. You can go 10 hours or whatever. But if those people agreed to take that to be in one of his movies, you can't say that he drugged them. How can you come to that determination? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, you still can see that there's something more sinister behind what they're doing and saying about him than they want us to believe. Because Diddy didn't invent sex trafficking. Like I said, once again, if they cared about women so much, especially women of color in this country, it wouldn't be over 1 million that's missing right now. So it does not add up. Like, where's all this concern and all this, I care about what's going on with Black women. Where's all this coming from? Because there's over 1 million right now. In fact, you just had a little 13-year-old girl, unfortunately, lost her life because she was pregnant by someone that was 41. So it's like, why are they making Diddy the fall guy for it? Why come nobody cares about that? Why come nobody's not talking about the young man that was down from Chicago that went to Henderson, North Carolina, that was found by a tree with a rope around his neck? And they're saying that he committed suicide. Why come nobody ain't talking about that? Why come everything related to Black news is about Diddy? I mean, that's terrible. That's terrible. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to say. But with the Diddy book, why come Al B. Sure and his children said it was fake? Everybody kept saying Al B. Sure was saying that Diddy tried to unlive him and all this stuff. But Al B. Sure was the one standing up saying the man who wrote the book about Kim Porter, it's fake. It's not true. So that's all I have to say, because I know you got other callers. But none of that adds up, and none of that makes sense. Just pay attention to that.
I'll put you on hold, KFC. So you guys heard KFC, you guys heard what she said, and she have questions for you guys. So please, I don't want to be the only one that's out here that's speaking. So feel free to call in and to respond to what KFC just said. She made some serious comments, you know. So feel free to call in. KFC, I want to put you on hold. Calling from 678, you're live on the air.
Hey, Gigi, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, girl? Miss you so much.
Yeah, I tell you, I can't tell y'all what's going on over here. But
talk to me, Shallow.
Well, I'm gonna address. I know KFC on there, so I'm gonna address a few things she said. But did you hear about as soon as they took Diddy that his mama started going in and out the hospital because she realized that gravy train about to leave.
Nobody hear that.
In and out the hospital. But let me touch on what KFC just said. KFC. First of all, they do an investigation. So if you get indicted, you are guilty because that means that they got the evidence. Okay? So we told you this several times, but they got evidence. They will not indict you if they don't have evidence on you. It's the same thing with Trump. They had him on recording, running his mouth, trying to cause problems down there, and then he did cause problems. And he told them to change the vote. So they do have evidence on Diddy. Now, as far as you saying he didn't traffic, they already said he hired, what we saying, G? Sex workers, how can we put it?
SA, and just men and women. We know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, he hired people to come in there, and the reason why they say it's trafficking is because he did it in different states. They have all this evidence, KFC, so just give it up on taking up for Diddy. The man did wrong, and it's time for him to pay the piper. Everybody got to pay for what they do. It don't matter how much money you have. When you commit crimes, okay, your day is going to come. White, black, red, green, purple. Your day is going to come. Now, yes, I agree with you that they come down harder sometimes on us as the people. I agree with you sometimes they set us up. But Diddy was not set up in this manner because he did everything they said he did. And if they get the trial, and we watch they F, it's because Diddy said he started talking. And once you start talking against people, they have people that be in those prisons, they have guards, they have people warden these, and they'll shut you up. So I hope you look Diddy make it to trial. But he did commit the crime because they wouldn't have indicted him. Okay, they had to build evidence. They have video footage. They have workers that have come out and said he has two types of bottles, champagne bottles. One for the ladies that they put that stuff in so they can do whatever they want and film them. And then they also have people, KFC, that he has blackmailed. This is what makes it illegal. Even if all of them shows up and volunteer, KFC, if he takes those tapes and blackmails them and say, you're going to do this and this, that's still illegal. There's a lot of illegal stuff he's done. And we'll just say allegedly blew up Kid Cudi's car, went over to Atlanta and took out a man that Kim was dating. And even it goes to how many women he did put hands on. It wasn't just Cassie. You can't excuse all what this man has done. I mean, I know that you love the fact that he's was one of the black billionaires, as you say, and you want to protect the man. But I'm sorry to tell you, when you do wrong, it comes back on you. Now, he's a public figure. That's why it's all out here like it is. And yes, some of the stuff they say, maybe some of the people making up to get the bag, but the stuff that they indicted Diddy on, he done, because they have the evidence. That's what they do. They collect when the feds come. It's not like the regular police or anything. The feds watch you for years. They document stuff, and they build a case. And once they have that evidence, they present it to a grand jury. That grand jury look over the evidence and they say whether they're going to take this case up or not. So I'm sorry that you think that they railroaded your little Diddy. And you don't believe nothing they say about Diddy, but it is proof and evidence. And you like to look at tapes. So when you go back and look at some of these tapes, you will hear out Diddy's mouth when he says, "This is what I do to the ladies. This is how I keep them in my house." And you'll see all this, but that's what I got to say about it. KFC, they would not have indicted him if they did not have evidence. Now, as far as your plea about black men and being done wrong, yes, some of them are, but not all of them. And Diddy is one that has been proven through the years. And you say, well, why they waited? We have explained that 100 times. He had money to shut him up, and he has shut up people. And once you see him take out someone, and you next to him, do you think you're going to go run your mouth? He got bodyguards and everything else that hold you back. He got bodyguards that threaten you, come to your house. He got people that will shut you up, and they know that.
Yeah,
so, I mean, that's the answer to everything. Are you on?
Yeah, I'm here. I said he need to be stopped. I mean, he's just
You gotta stop him. And let's say this. It's no excuse because he was taking the drugs. Diddy was taking all kinds of drugs. So anybody that think he didn't do these things, when you drugged up, you are not yourself. He said that's why he be kept up in the hallway because he was high. But he kept getting high. So he has to be held accountable for his actions. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you got $2 billion. If it's your time, it's your time. They said all the way up till now that he had drugs on him when they went to arrest him. So he was getting ready to have one last party because he knew he was going in. So I don't know what it's going to take, but I guess they have to lay the case out for you in court for you to finally say, okay. But you'll probably say, well, they set him up. No, honey. Diddy was indicted because they had the evidence to indict him. And I don't care how many people come and say that they set him up. No, they didn't set him up. Now, you want to say they triggered it by some lawsuit? Okay, it could have got triggered. But he's done the things they said. That's why they had cards to play with him. They didn't set Diddy up. This has been going on. These documentations, KFC, been going on for years. You can't set that up. This is him throwing parties. He went too far. That's all you got to understand. He went too far. He was doing exotic drugs. He even went on a talk show before any of this happened years ago and said that he took a drug that was so exotic it knocked him out for a week, he said. He said he don't even remember what he did. Now, he said this is how to throw him out. He said he wasn't high enough. He had to find an exotic drug to take him higher. When you're on stuff like that, KFC, you're going to do things to people and you might not remember. But he remembers some of the stuff by kicking that baby out that girl's stomach. He did all these things. Him and Jay didn't want babies by certain women. They got rid of those women or they got rid of those babies. You better believe that. So, you know, you can let her come up here. You tell me how he get indicted if they didn't have evidence. And we talking about the feds. This is not no regular police. This is the feds. So,
well, Shelly, all that you telling me, he needs to be down and under the jail cell. He is a beast. He's a monster. He's not going to ever be honest. He's not going to ever have compassion. He's not going to be a civilized person. He's not civil. He's never been civilized. He's an animal. He needs to be put down.
And then look, G, he started, the reason why they keep denying his bail because right before he went in, he called this girl 54 times trying to get her to lie for him. They were still taping Diddy on phone calls and everything. They let him run around because they wanted to get more evidence. They got him online intimidating witnesses, calling them over 100 times, some of these people, saying, I'll pay you if you say this. The same way he did when Shine took the rap for him. He paid people to come in court and speak against Shine. You want to know why he got away with it so long? He was paying people off. He paid the police off. He paid authorities off. And then he was sending women to people high up to keep them going on with it. That's what they do. They send them women. They send them children. So if they're doing that and the person is just as sleazy as he is, and he's a judge or he's this and that in New York, he's gonna let Diddy run around because he's supplying them with what they like. This is how they get away with it for years. They supply the people in power with what they like and what they want. May it be money, may it be bodies. So y'all need to open up your eyes. This is a bad man, and it's his turn. Whatever happens with him, it's his turn now. And you're going to get a turn. I'm going to get a turn. We all going to be held accountable the way we lived our life. We just wasn't as gritty as Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So
Child,
I'm
you
not
can't
being
even compare
judgmental.
us with the goddamn Diddy.
I'm just saying that all of us that did wrong, and I'm not saying we did anything like this. I'm just talking about when you do wrong in life, it comes back.
I ain't never break no motherfucking law.
Well,
And
I
I
ain't
even
talking about
thought
like
about
Diddy,
them
but I'm
doing
just
no
saying
drugs. Or
when
don't
you
even
do
put
wrong.
me in his goddamn
But we're
sentence. I'm offended.
Huh?
Don't you do
I'm
that.
just saying that you
I
doing
know,
it's just like a little
don't do
kid.
that. I'm offended.
Okay,
Let's not do that.
But listen, G, a little kid, you're gonna spike the little kid hand if he do something bad. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna get punished when you do things bad. Not to the degree
I mean,
of Diddy.
he
I'm just
can't
saying
even be
anything you do.
compared to a little kid, Shelley. That does him. No, he is an animal.
I mean,
he is
yeah,
an animal.
I know.
He is out of
And he
order.
hasn't learned.
He is out of control. Okay,
Yeah.
he's not a little kid.
And he's that way because he got away with it for so long. He, just like you said, he said, I put up the houses. He gonna put all his family in the street just to come out, promising them, oh, I'll sit at the house with no women. Well, you like men, Negro. So what is that supposed to do that you gonna sit in the house without women and just your family? Everybody know you like men too. He didn't mention that in court. Oh, I'm not gonna have no company and no conjugal business. He didn't mention that. But Diddy is a bad man. Now maybe he'll change after he go through something, but he has to go through what he.
He's not gonna change, Shelley. Let's stop.
I'm just giving that to KFC because she
Yeah,
ride
but
hard
he's
for
not
him.
gonna change.
So I'm just giving her a little pillow to land on because
an adult lion. Can you change an adult lion to be civilized? Can you make a adult lion to be a indoor pet? It's impossible.
Oh, well, you know what happened? His son showed up in the prayer line at one of the churches. So that's a beautiful thing. His son is reaching out. I mean, he showed up for prayer, and they got proof of it on video, and that's a good thing.
That ain't nothing for show. That is nothing for show. That don't impress me.
He crying out for help, G. Come on now. He crying out for help.
Hey, Shelley, that's how you feel. I'm not impressed by it. So that's just me.
Well, you know, I'm not either, but you know, these lovers, I'm just giving them a little cushion, G. Come on.
Well, that's what you do, Shelley. Give them a little cushion, but I'm not giving them shit. But go ahead, give him a cushion, girl.
See,
I ain't giving
he's going to suffer. He's going to suffer anyway, G, because he has no remorse yet. He took back his apology to Cassie and said that he made a mistake doing that. When the people were saying he a liar, he won't even stand in his truth. So he's not ready to even be released from jail. He's going to have to do some hard time before he wake up and say, I found Jesus, or I found the truth, or I found something. Right now, he's not ready. He's not ready to do it. He's ready to put his mama in the street, his children, He said, but the feds gonna take it all anyway, because that was in the documentation. The feds is taking the houses, the cars, they taking the money that's overseas. They found out everything. They taking everything from Diddy, the island. So what is kids gonna have?
That's not my problem.
What is mama gonna have?
That's not my problem.
Well, I'm with you, sister. I'm just giving a little cushion to folks like KSC.
Well, this is what I gotta say.
Because
His mama and his kids should have told him, hey, this ain't right. His kids, his mama should have disassociated themselves against him. I don't give a damn. Some people may have said, well, you know, Shelly, your background is so loud.
She wasn't no good.
Shelly, your background is so loud. Yeah, but this is what I gotta say, Shelly. Now, some people, hold on, I'm gonna put you on hold, Shelly, because that background is killing me. That background is killing me, Shelly. But some people may say, well, you know, his kids was raised that way. That's why they can't help it. Bullshit. I was raised to be a full-blooded Christian, and that is not what I decided to do. So your parents can raise you one way, but you know right and wrong, and you have to decide for your life and your choices that you pick, okay, what you're going to do, like all of us. It's a lot of rich people that got kids out here that they stir away from their rich parents at 17, 18 years old. So bullshit. Those kids, them sons, they liked it, those parties. They liked it, that power. They like it, the Dark Lord. They like to get away with different things and getting crimes. So I don't give a damn. Shit. Take them all. I don't have no sympathy for them. Calling from 404. You're live on the air. 404. Talk to me. What's your thoughts about Diddy or Chris Brown?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
I just wanted to respond. I feel like the caller that just spoke, I agree with her 300%. And the caller prior to her, one thing that she did ask is, where were the parents? Well, where were the parents with R. Kelly? You know, where were the parents with Epstein or Epstein, however they pronounce his name? So there's so many different situations that you can look at and see so clear that all of this is not a farce. And like the previous caller said, when the feds get involved, that's not a 30-day investigation. That investigation can last for years before they come for you. But what people didn't pay attention to is the fact that years ago, even his own peers like Kanye, people like Cat Williams, they talked about Suge, talked about Sean being involved with the feds. So what he did is he taunted them. He taunted them like, you know, like he was untouchable. He allowed his children to taunt them. So how were they supposed to look when they went in and they did a raid and you're walking around, bouncing around like you're a teenager, like you're untouchable? That's basically, he snubbed his nose. And another thing people aren't paying attention to is the fact that he was dealing with these people from these liquor companies. You're talking about people that are way bigger than him when you're talking dollars and cents. And if you think about it in reference to, we talk about him being a billionaire. Was he truly a billionaire? Was it really, really liquid funds available as a billionaire? Just like with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not truly a billionaire. That's what people say. However, with Sean also, where was the money coming from? Who was lifting him? What he did with those people, he taunted them. He threatened to sue them. So when you play big boy games, you're going to get big boy prizes. And this is his prize. This is a way of teaching him a lesson. Because who cared about some lotion or lubricant? That was a way to embarrass him. And that's what they did. They embarrassed him. They humiliated him by showing that. Because what was the point of the Fed showing that? What significance did that have? You know, now they're trying to say, oh, it was laced with drugs. Who's to say that? You know, it hasn't been tested, but that was one of his prizes. We're just going to show you. We're going to put you in your place. You're out of line. And another thing we as a people need to understand, just because we're at the table doesn't mean we were truly invited. People say, bring your own chair. Same thing. Bring your own chair, that's fine. But are you still a part of what's going on? So I hate when people use the term in reference to, let's stop talking about race. It's not about black or white, because the people he dealt with was multi-cultured and races, all kind of races involved. So let's stop blaming it on the fact that he's a black man. Sure, we may get the short end of the stick, but let's stop leaning on to that all the time. And a lot of times I think it has to do with demographics. I also think it has to do with the age. People look at him probably to be somebody younger than he really is. He's over 50 years old. He's been playing games for a long, long time. He's taking advantage of people. He's even the people, when you think about talent, what talent does he have? So how did he become a billionaire? Where was he getting his money from? And are people paying attention to that? How did he make his money? He made it off the backs of others, and then he turned his back on them and treated them like they were trash. And what kind of recourse did they have? If they feared retaliation. And you know what's really sad in reference to his children, and them will get off your line? It's his children. Can you imagine being the children of Kim Porter? He's got 4 kids there that their mother is gone. Suddenly their mother is gone, and you're hearing all these different things. Can you imagine the psyche of those kids and what they might be going through?
I can't even imagine that.
And so I think we need to think about that too. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, let's talk about it a little bit. Now, you talk about the psyche of these kids right after I said I don't have no sympathy for them. And I'm majority talking about the boys, not those little girls. You know, I have sympathy for them. They seem innocent to me. I don't know much about those girls. But when it comes to the boys, even though, you know, they have heard rumors that their father was the one that take their mama out, they still partying with the devil. They are still partying with the devil. And they know that goddamn rumors. So they made their choice. They made their bed, lie in it. And they still having these freak offs. They do their own freak offs, I hear. You know, they just as, honey, No, if they was on the right and they had some sympathy, go ahead.
If you think about their world, he was their world. So that's all they knew. That's how they were groomed. That's how they grew up. That's what they were exposed to.
But you have a choice. You have a choice. It's a lot of rich parents that their kids pull away from their rich parents. You have a choice. Just like you. Did you do everything your parents wanted you to do? Did you follow behind your parents' footsteps? You pick and choose.
But if you grow up in a certain status, come on, let's look at it from the perspective that where were they going to go and who?
Okay, so let's talk about the rich status. So you think all rich parents, all their kids follow their footsteps?
No.
Yeah, you know it's not, because we hear so many of rich parents. They have a difficult time with their kids because their kids don't want to be nothing like their rich parents. They pull away. So you have a choice. These are individuals. I mean, these are not just people that don't have a brain and they're just so robotic, and these boys don't have a choice, and they chose to follow the Dark Lord, and that's who they wanted to choose. I know they was raised in Hollywood. Shit. So what? You have a choice. A lot of people that was raised in Hollywood don't want nothing to do with that goddamn Hollywood. A lot of people that was raised in church, in a Christian, they don't want nothing to do with Christian. People have choices. Now you do have those that are groomed, like you would state and say, people was raised in the church and that's all they know, so they conform. I see it from that side too. Well, I guess they was conformed in Hollywood and they loved it, and that's what they do. But then again, don't it goes to they like it? Don't the people that was raised by Christians and they stay in the church, don't they stay in the church because they like it? That's the choice that they make. So I would figure the ones that stay with Diddy, those boys, that is the choice they make. They liked it. Are you there? Okay, well, maybe she go off. But yeah, I believe that they like it. Oh, then she came back at the wrong time. I believe they liked it. So I'm looking in the comment section. We do have some other callers. The phone number is at the bottom. We want you guys to call in. Let's get these likes up, you guys. No religion, but I believe in God. The Christian church, I grew up in, judged too much. Oh, okay, yeah. So comment. Like I said, I grew up in the Christian church. I grew up Baptist. But I'm not a Baptist and I'm not a Christian. I made my decision at a very early age that this wasn't a lifestyle for me. I still respect and I still hold some of the values of Christians with me, but I decided to take some and some of the shit I did not decide to take. And that's that on that. Okay. Calling from 346. You're live on the air. 346.
Hey, I decided to come back.
Well,
After I
call
heard
back.
the
Come on,
KFC
talk
lady.
to me.
I just wanted to say again, well, I think the other caller kind of put it to bed, but I wanted to say I mentioned earlier about people victim blaming or shaming, and how they reference, they always, especially if the person that they're accusing of doing whatever it is wealthy, they always say, that person's chasing a bag or money. And I just want people to think about if that is the case, and I can't say it is or it isn't because I wasn't there, I'm not Cassie, and I'm not married to a rich man. We do well, we're going on vacation next month, but I'm just saying, I want to know, how do you explain all of the girls or the women in the hood with nothing and no one and still taking the butt whooping in the hood with nothing? Like, what is their clout that they're chasing? What is their come up? Why do they stay? I say this because, listen, I work in the profession. I've worked with victims of sex crimes for 20 years, so I'm not just some random person who doesn't know what I'm talking about. The reason people don't come forward, the reason it takes people 30 years or whatever it takes them to come forward or get the courage or whatever, is a psychological thing. How do you feel? How would you feel if, because people, I think they romanticize it, or they think the people that are getting abused in this way, or, because it's only certain words you can say on YouTube, but go through these type of sexual experiences that, it's some dark person that appears in your house and they hold you down. It's not always like that. That's why people constantly talk about grooming. It's warming up your victim to this idea. So then when they come in, they do stuff that they're not supposed to do to you. They either you won't tell because you maybe liked it, not in the sense of that you liked it, more in the sense that you didn't really understand, kind of like an Aaliyah and R. Kelly situation, in my opinion. You're too young to consent. Or I've had situations where I talk to clients and they, the perpetrator told them, if you tell anybody, I'm going to pop out your mom and you. So if you love your mom and you love your own life, what are you going to say? And then I want to talk a little bit about the statute. When Kathy's lawsuit came out, and I remember hearing that the Southern District of New York basically said victims have a year to come out and, if they've been, whatever happened to them, they've been violated, then they can come out and, speak about it. And so I thought to myself, because I've been fighting for years in Texas, why do we even have statutes for victims? Why are we protecting the perpetrator and not the victim? It doesn't make any sense. And an attorney told me, I asked this on one of my other content creators channels, Make It Make Sense. I think I asked the attorney that he had, and I said, well,
shout out to him. I love him so much. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I love Make It Make Sense. And he had an attorney on there after the case, blew up or whatever. And I asked him, I said, why because I'm not an attorney. I said, why is it that we have a statute to, basically limit the victim's right to say this person violated me in whatever way? And he said to me, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said to me, something to the effect of like, well, they shouldn't have the, the right to hold this over the victim, the perpetrator's head, for the rest of their lives. And I'm like thinking to myself, are you serious? Like, you got to be serious. So a perfect example of that attorney's, I guess, take on it is Kavanaugh. I don't know if everybody was paying attention to the election or no, when Donald Trump was president last time, and that Judge Kavanaugh was trying to get him to be a justice or whatever on the Supreme Court, and that doctor came forward and was like, no, 30 years ago when I was like 16 or 17, he violated me, and then there was this whole big thing about that, but he still got put on the Supreme Court. That is what that attorney that was going to make it make sense was saying. Oh, well, this person, this victim, shouldn't have the right to hold this over this man's head, because can't you see he's rich now, he's a judge now, he's accomplished now, he has a good life now. We don't want to ruin his life now. Well, what about that victim's life? They don't get to check out. They don't get to say, you know what, I want to move on. They don't. It's a permanent imprint on your life. And everybody goes through trauma. Every single person walking this earth has trauma. How do I know that to be true? Because that's why everybody gets triggered when they get triggered about whatever they get triggered for, whatever that might be. It doesn't have to be SA, but it could be anything. It could be somebody bullying you when you're in school. My point is, you don't have to walk around as a victim all the time to still have those negative emotions when you get triggered. And it's unfair to say that these people, well, one, it's unfair to shame them, and then two, it's unfair to put statutes on them. So back to what I was saying initially. It piqued my interest when the Southern District of New York suddenly said, well, let's open up a year and let these people come out and say this. I thought to myself, well, if they can do it in New York, why can't we do it in every state? Why isn't this just something we do anyways? And then when they started raiding Diddy's houses, that's when it cleared it up for me. It was like they opened it up so that they could, because they, like the other caller said, they already had a case. They already built a case, but they needed more people to come forward to say, this is what happened to me as well. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't work for the Southern District of New York. And then I just want to touch on the last thing, what you guys were talking about, the kids of his Diddy's children. On some level, I do understand that people feel a way about, this is what happens to kids. I feel bad for them. But I also believe, because I do have compassion and empathy for the children, but I also believe some of his children, the older boys, are being also sued, or there are allegations about them doing some things, violent things, not only to women, but also men, is my understanding. But like I said, I don't know, I wasn't there. So, but I do agree that the girls are the ones that, I'm a woman, so I'm going to probably lean more towards, like I said, the girl part of it or the female part of it, because how could they ever in life trust a man if your dad's been accused of this, and your mom is no longer here to help, like, steer you in whatever direction or help you kind of like go through it, cope with it, whatever. How are they ever going to trust a man? I don't know. And that's the part of my heart that really breaks. I mean, all of it breaks for me with regard to that, because that's hard to try to figure out, to try to have any type of friends or family or anybody.
I feel like these girls, they will figure it out. I think they are nice, innocent girls, and I think they're at the age where they could decide to choose the dark side or not. And it seemed like they have chosen the light side. So I think these girls will be fine. It's going to be a tough road, but because of who they are, I think that they're always going to decide right. That's just my opinion. I think the guys have decided darkness, and that's just the boat. That's who they are, and they're going to try to get away with it and do whatever they want to do with it. Now, when you was talking about the statute of limitations and holding shit over people's head, that's what I got to say about that. That same man that's a big judge and got that money, he that same damn monster with bigger money.
I agree.
And he gonna be another goddamn Diddy. And I think it should, nigga, you did it. You did it. You shouldn't have did it. So hell, I feel like it should always be open. And I'm pretty sure he's doing the same thing with other individuals in Panama. That's how I feel about it.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And the trick, what happens is, and they even did it in that man's case, they'll say, well, he hired all of these women, and look, he has women at this, that, and third. Of course he did. Of course, he's going to hire more people he can harass. You know what I'm saying? And get away with it. More people that people are going to say, well, you know, she liked it, or she's mad at him now because he had some sort of relation with her earlier, and now he doesn't have that relationship, or now she doesn't have access to his money and all this other stuff. First of all, let's just be very clear. Women, stop acting like women are these helpless creatures that we can't do anything for ourselves, that we're not educated and we don't have careers and whatever else, that all we can hope to aspire for is a man's money. I love that. I love my husband. We've been married almost 20 years, and I love his money too. But I have my own money, and I'm always going to be okay. Period, point blank. It wouldn't matter if I was married or not. So we got to wake up. We got to use both sides of our brains. We don't have to always say she had a motivation for the reason she was there. Maybe her motivation was none of that. Maybe her motivation truly was, I want to, you know, have an opportunity to be a singer or be a superstar. There's nothing wrong with that. Be very clear. Everybody that's in the chat or on the line or wherever it is you are, didn't you apply for a job somewhere? What was your expectation? Your expectation is, I'm going to put in this work and I'm going to get my money. So what's wrong with Cassie saying, I want to put in work and I want to get my money? And what's wrong with Cassie saying, even if it wasn't about the money, if I want to put in work so I can become a celebrity, I want to put in work so that I can, you know, whatever it is that she aspires to, and I'm looking at this person who appears to be able to give it to me. When you go online and you look for a job, isn't that what you look for? Some employer that has what you feel like is good for you to aspire to. So I don't understand why she's being blamed for wanting better.
If Cassie, I hear what you're saying, but if Cassie was working at Walmart and she started fucking with the manager, I'm gonna say okay. So I can understand that part of people because she ended up sleeping with the manager. It's like I feel that Diddy or Cassie. I disagree. I feel like when it's business, you should keep it separate, especially that.
No, I'm not saying.
I don't.
Okay, let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm not saying. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that she doesn't. It's right, so to speak, of whatever it is that she's doing morally or even professionally. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying the same people that persecute her because of her wanting to do whatever it is that she quote unquote needed to do to get to the top are the same people that go online when they need a job and they look for an employer that is going to help them get where they're going. And so what if she decided to have, I wouldn't do it, but I'm not going to nail her to the wall because, oh, okay, well, she had a sexual relationship with her boss. So what? I don't care. That's not what I would do. And I don't think it's right, but it is what it is. It's going to happen. Why are we nailing her to the cross and not him? Why are we not saying this is an inappropriate relationship? Why in the world would he have this type of inappropriate relationship with his star? Of course, we're not going to say that because we love to nail women to the cross.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I nailed both of their ass to the cross. If Cassie was if Cassie was my sister, I said, "Girl, what the hell are you doing? These men are
but
not
everybody does something.
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
Like
her. People
I don't give a damn. I would tell Cassie if she was my relative. Listen, girl, you know these men gonna see you as a freak off. Don't sleep with them. Don't even have them thinking that you even into their ass like that. Don't do it. You are talented. You don't need to sleep your way to the top because you already know what people are gonna say, and you already know, especially back then, 20 years ago. You know, it was notorious, those rumors. You know how society works, and you don't want that reputation on your career. And back in those days, and somewhat today, but more so back 20 years ago, reputation was everything. Now, it don't matter about your reputation. You can still be an amazing star, allegedly.
But you know,
and for Diddy, I would say, Diddy, why in the hell are you sleeping with artists? Are you off? Are you sick? You know, that is just so evil. For you are a manager, you are in a higher position. It's control. It shouldn't be, you know, because in some places you shouldn't do that shit. And I just feel like Diddy should not be sleeping with none of his damn artists. You shouldn't be slapping on an ass. To me, I feel like Diddy shouldn't even be partying with his artists like that. You need to keep a distance. Make yourself separate from everybody else. And it seemed like Diddy, he wants to be like everybody else and still be the boss. And he want to play all these positions. and he just don't know his fucking lane.
I agree on some level with what you're saying, but I'm saying less about that. I'm saying more about the judgment part, because my thing is I need everybody to be perfect before you judge me. Like, that's what I'm saying. The same people that are sitting online saying all these egregious things about this lady, they are sitting in judgment of her, but they're not judging themselves. They're not putting them, because let's be clear. If we have to write a book and publish it about you and your life, not you personally, I'm just saying in general, are you going to be proud of every single thing? No, you're not. And guess what? Even if you led a perfect life, someone's going to have a problem with it. It doesn't even matter. That lady she could be perfect, she could be skinny, she could be beautiful, she could be ugly, she could be fat, whatever. Someone's going to have a problem with it. And all I'm saying is just be perfect before you judge me. Because half of those people that are sitting in judgment probably wouldn't want us to know their business. Probably wouldn't tell us their business. That's why people keep secrets in the first place. Because they don't want to tell the truth.
But I think it's true, but I think people gonna always judge. You're not gonna get around that. And just because now some people issue is not being a whore, so it's easy for them to judge whores because they never been a whore. But they may have some other issues, but that's not on the topic. So there's that.
You're right.
So people are gonna judge. I'm sure Cassie judged. I'm sure Diddy judged.
100%.
I mean, all of them have judged. So hell, I mean, people are gonna do. I understand that you don't want people to judge, but shit, the reality
No, I'm not saying that.
They gonna judge.
No, I'm
they
not
gonna
saying
judge me.
I don't
They
want
gonna
people to
you.
judge.
Shit, we all gonna judge.
I'm not saying I don't want people to judge. I'm saying don't judge if you are guilty too. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can judge whoever you want to. I sit in judgment every day. I don't say it out loud every day because I'm a therapist, but I do listen to people and whatever they have going on with their life, and it's not my place to judge. But all of us are human and we're gonna judge. I'm just saying when you do that, just make sure that you're perfect. We all are gonna judge. You're absolutely right, but I'm saying to the degree that they do it,
they perfect.
to the degree that they do it as if they're perfect. That's what I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah. People gonna do that regardless. They're gonna, drag your ass. But of course, they don't want you to go in their closet. But I mean, that's how people are gonna do. That's their nature. People are gonna judge as if they have never did anything wrong. I understand that you don't want people to do that. You want people to be so nice and compassionate and to be like, well, I've done things wrong, so I'm not going to judge other people. And I think some people do that, right? But I don't think everybody is going to go there. Some people are going to say what the hell they feel. I mean, that's what social media is all about. When you look at everything on social media, you see all these comments full of hurtful, hateful comments. That's what people do. I mean, they get bots account to drag people and to hurt people. Shit, that's what they do. That's what you do on social media in certain groups, like gossip groups and like the shade room and the neighborhood talk. That's what they do. They infamous for that. That's how they make their money. I mean, that's why people go to the post to see what the comments are giving. You don't see people say, I went straight to the comments, girl, because they want to see motherfuckers judge. They want to see people talking negative. They get entertained by it. This is what we do.
That's why I'm right here on the sweet spot, Mr. Sweet Spot with you, because it's entertaining. I'm just saying, just show a little love sometimes. That's it. But thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Tell them. Y'all need to show a little love, okay? I ain't showing shit. So I show what I want to show, okay? But I think that's really nice for people can just not judge nobody and just all love each other. I think that's very sweet. Calling from 727. You're live on the air. Hello, 727. And let me get to you, Tracy. Tracy, I'm not mad at this thing. Hold on, let me put Tracy up since Tracy want to call me out. Tracy, we can do that. But I'm not mad. I'm very passionate. Am I dramatic? Hell yeah. I'm a dramatic queen, Tracy. Now, all the times you don't see me being dramatic, but if you know me, you know I'm very dramatic. I'm very passionate, and I like to play into dramatics. I like to play into it. Press 2 if you realize you know. I like to play into dramatics. I like to play into mess. I like to play into it. But honestly, no, I'm not angry at all. Afterwards, I'm going to eat me a Snickers and I'm not going to think about this. I'm going to continue to watch Your Honor because that's what I've been watching. Okay? But I'm not mad at all. But I like to play into shit. Yeah, hell yeah, I do. Okay? Like, give me a couple of minutes. Watch, I'm just gonna get mad just for no reason, all right? I'm not really mad, but I'm just playing into shit, right? I'm gonna do one for you, Tracy. I'm gonna talk to somebody, right? And I'm just gonna be dramatic, right? And I'm gonna make you feel like I'm very angry. But honestly, I'm not. I'm just playing into shit, okay? I'm gonna do one for you. Give me a minute. 727, are you there? Okay, 727 not here. Feel free to call in. 301, I'm gonna play with a KFC. She gonna say something, I'm gonna go real ballistic. Okay, let's watch it. Are you there?
Yeah, what you want me to say?
I don't know. But I'm gonna use you. I'm just letting you know that by now. So I don't know what you're gonna say, but I'm just gonna get mad. So just talk. So after hearing everything that people said, what are your thoughts now?
Now, I'm being serious. I disagree with a lot of what they were saying because they're saying that the people on Diddy's tapes are sex workers. If that's the case, that was their job to do that. I mean, like, why would you go over like they had to know what was going on beforehand? They making it seem like this man just rode around late at night, randomly grabbing women, putting a plastic bag over their head and bringing them back to the house. That's not how that went down. So why is it that other film producers that make adult movies can do it, but when we do it, it has to be something notorious along the lines that we're doing something illegal? If he has his own plane, let's say somebody over here wants to see two women.
KFC, these are accusers.
But I'm being serious with mine, though. You joking with yours.
Okay, KFC, can you please not interrupt me? But these are accusers that are speaking out against Diddy. He has a line of accusers. This is not nothing nobody's making up. So we have to take these accusers seriously. And we saw the video
sex
when
workers,
he did the Cassie.
The majority of them are sex workers.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about majority of them because we know that Diddy have a list long of partners. He has over 5,000 partners and counting of people that he have freak offs with. And a lot of those are freaky escort workers. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the individuals that were not those individuals that have came out to say that Diddy have put stuff in their drink and took advantage of them, that Diddy have put paws on them. I mean, we seen it and we hear it. And that's why he's in jail now, KFC. So he is a horrible person. He has influenced his kids to do exactly what he's doing. He is a dark lord. He has lied. He has stolen from so many Black artists. He have done so many people wrong. He has gotten Black people in jail for something that he has done. Like, he is a horrible person. And he has gotten so much money and he's just paying people to excuse him and to allow him to get away with this foolishness because so many people, they have no value when it comes to money. They can be bought and sold. But now, since his money supply is getting cut off, he is getting weak by the day and he is done. He is finished, and for good reason, for good damn reason.
It's all a lie.
Well, you know what, KFC?
You want to see
you
that?
have
It's all
every
a lie.
right to believe that. If you want to believe the sky is pink, I'm not here to stop you from believing that. If you want to believe that, then that's your right. You know, I'm not stopping you from believing that. And you cannot stop other people from knowing the truth about Diddy, that he's an evil person and he belongs behind jails and he's done. It's over. Did you know he tried to get out? This is his third attempt, and they say no, that he has to change lawyers because he didn't even pick a good lawyer at the start because everybody is lying to him. Consider that. Isn't that a good karma? Because he lied and he finessed everybody else. So look like these lawyers are finessing his ass. He don't know if to go left or right. He don't know who set him up. He don't have any friends because he's not a genuine person, KFC. Okay, everything
Okay, but let me
that
ask
he
you this then.
has, it's
Let me ask you this.
ahead. Go ahead.
Why you got all this smoke for Diddy, and you saying all this about Diddy, but with Trump, him
Why
being found guilty
all
of
this
SA and
smoke for
somebody,
Diddy?
and then he's going to release, no, but Trump is going to release a statement that if he wins, women are going to love him. Women are going to love him because he's going to protect women after he was already found guilty of SA and someone.
Okay,
but yet they riding Chris
hold
Brown,
on,
though.
because what you're not going to
I
do
mean-
is try to hijack the conversation. Okay, I get sick and tired of people like you trying to get on platforms to hijack the conversation, and you think this shit is a game. You have accusers out here. You have victims that are hurting, and you want to sit up here and you want to laugh about this stuff? It is very, very inappropriate. And you do this shit all the time. People like you, and how hard that Diddy have hurted black women like you, hurted your black community, and you want to sit your ass up here and you want to gaslight and you want to change the subject talking about Trump. The title have nothing to do about Trump. Nothing. You need to get yourself together. I'm gonna put your ass on hold. Okay. So y'all see how I did that? Now, KFC, if she didn't know me, she really think I really have like hurt her feelings or have something against her, but I don't. I just played it up. Okay. So Tracy, I'm really never mad. I'm never angry. I just play up the dramatic sometimes. That's all, babe. Okay. Let's go on to the next caller. Caller from 404.
Hey.
404, you're live on the air. Talk to me.
Hey, how's it going? I hate to say this, but I'm with the last caller. And, Diddy, it's just yet another black man. I just can't help but think about R. Kelly and stuff like that. And even R. Kelly spoke out and said, like, him and both Diddy are being framed. And I just feel like this is just a way to bring down an intelligent, super attractive, super wealthy black man. Like, this is just one more black man that they're trying to send to the jailhouse, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it because they didn't do this to all those producers, Clive Davis, and all those people that they wanna lynch a black man, and I'm over it.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Honestly, I really wish that I were there at those parties so that I could testify on his behalf. Unfortunately, I was not there. What I will do is, continue to listen and keep up with what's going on with the case. And he definitely needs a new lawyer. So, maybe I can give him a referral there.
Do you think Diddy would have invited you to the freak-offs?
Oh, yeah, he definitely would have. But, I wouldn't have betrayed him in the way that these other people have. These folks are just money hungry, and they are framing him. They are setting him up so that they can get a payday.
Got it. So you would be like, I guess, another Ray J, to say that you were there, but he didn't do that to you. So how could you speak for other victims?
I'm not going to say that there's no victims, but what I will say is that all the victims are, it's of their own making, just to be honest with you, unless they're underage. If they're adults, they knew what they signed up for when they went to those parties. They went there and they took those drugs willingly, and, they got freaky deaky, and now they have regret.
So even the video you seen with Cassie, you feel like that was her fault?
I'm never for violence against anyone, especially women. I just think that's just wrong. What I will say is that when you're dealing with a person that has a lot of power and a lot of money, and you're a young girl and you're thinking that you're just going to get some free ride, off of a millionaire, that comes with a lot. I will say that. And I think hopefully that's a testament to a lot of young girls who are looking for, the easy life. There's always something, there's always, unfortunately, another side to that world. It's not always just a soft life. Sometimes the soft life makes a hard ass. And I hate to say that, I'm not excusing his behavior, but, again, Cassie knew she came in when he already had all these other women that he was talking to. He was a known womanizer, and she came in and she thought it was going to be different. And what he did to her was unacceptable. But I hope that's a testament for other girls that are out there thinking that everything's just sweet with that soft life. Think again.
So with people like Diddy, don't you think he needs to be off the streets? Because he's not going to stop being a monster.
I think he's just going to end up being a monster behind prison. Unfortunately, it's not looking good for him. I do think he's going to be behind bars, but I think he's going to be the top dog. Between his money and his intellect, I think he's going to, unfortunately, bitch out and pimp out a lot of people in the prison if that's what he's into. I don't think it's going to end. I think he's just going to wreak havoc on the prison. I think he's better off, going to rehab, getting himself straight, going to counseling, and stuff like that. I don't think the solution is always putting a black man behind bars.
Got it. So you feel that if we put Diddy in public population, that he's going to end up as a top dog?
Oh yeah, he's probably just going to come out even worse. And most of the times, people who go behind there, their crimes get worse.
Diddy is in his 50s. Do you really think he can compete with these young guys in jail?
Diddy's in his 50s, but I'm gonna tell you, if he was putting it down the way they claim he was, I definitely think so.
Okay, but you have to remember he's sober. They're not. Hopefully, they're not doing drugs in jail, and his money has ran out. So Diddy, without any sugar boogers, without any money, who is he really?
And that's gonna be interesting to see. That's why I'm gonna stay tuned and watch this trial. But I'm gonna be real cute, especially if they send him to prison. And from what I've heard, they have ways of getting stuff in. And I just feel like, even though his money might be low, it ain't zero. So I feel like he's gonna be able to call in some favors and stuff and get that blue pill behind bars.
And you think, is that what you want? Do you think that's going to help him?
He might need a little bit of sex therapy. I mean, I don't know. Because I know he's a sex addict, so I know he's going to be getting it behind bars.
What if we just cut it off? Can we just cut the nuts off?
I mean, you don't get it both ways. I'm going to just be real with you. I don't think that's going to stop him. I think, whatever it is, it's probably that baby oil. He had all that baby oil. You think it was just for his guests? I think he was using it too.
If you cut his sex drive off, he's not going to have no urges.
No, baby. For people like that, it's mental. It's mental. It ain't just the penis getting it. It's a mental thing.
So what is he going to do?
If you do that, he's just going to be getting it from the back.
So you mean to tell me he gonna stop humping his ass on different inmates?
I think he's already doing that.
Give it to me.
I think he's already doing that. He's freaky deaky. I think he gets pegged and everything else.
Damn, we need to cut that asshole off too, then, huh?
You're gonna have to sew him up.
Sew it up. There you go. Sew it up. I know that's right. And that help him. Maybe he'll come and he'll end up doing right. Who knows?
So Diddy, if you listen and your lawyer does not have your best interest, please find somebody else so they can get you out.
Yeah, well, we don't want him out, because he's a danger to so many Black people and so many women. But okay, I thank you so much for calling. Shelly, you're back on the line. Shelly. Shelly. Shelly gone. Shout out to Fee, donated $5. Diddy ain't gonna be the top dog in there. He's gonna be the bottom dog. Who want that old ass? Okay, can we be honest? He's 50 years old. Do you really think they want to top Diddy? He at 55 years old. When they got a lot of young boy, what they Padisi, they got a lot of young boy Padisi going up in that jail cell. You know what I mean? 18, 19, 20. And you know, do you really think the men want that old, that old box that Diddy got? I don't think them did. And them walls probably done wore out, you know? I don't see it. Okay. Do you press 1 if you think somebody really want to top Diddy at 50 in a jail cell when they got a lot of these young boys that's coming in? Okay. Maybe they want to top him because he did it. I don't know. But a 55-year-old, he need to sit down. Sit down somewhere. Call him from 571. You're live on the air.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Dee, and I like your show. It's
Thank
really
you,
good.
Dee. Go ahead, talk to me.
Yeah. I think I'm glad that he's locked up. I'm gonna be honest with you because he's hurt a lot of people, and they're scared of him. And if he, they went back to try to get him out a third time, and I heard that it failed. But that's a good thing because if he gets out, he's gonna tamper with the people. He's gonna intimidate them and try to have his way. And he's had his way enough. Enough is enough. This is the end of this. He's hurt a lot of folks, as I said, and my concern is the children that were affected. I hope it wasn't I'm hoping that's not true, that children were there, I really hope it wasn't any children because that's going to leave a mark. That scars people, children for life, to be in that kind of a situation. And it would cause them not to be able to have good relationships, not to trust people, mental health issues, drug abuse, and things of that nature,
Well, we know kids were there because he said in the videotapes, we're going to have to put the kids up because it's about getting that time. And we already know a lot of those adults was not putting them kids up. They kept the kids around.
Yeah,
and we know he
that
loved
concerns me.
kids. We know he loved kids. We saw the videos of him having a little boy sitting on his lap, while he's reading out a
that
list.
concerned me.
We
that really
seen,
concerns
hold
me.
on, girl, hold on, because we're not going to act like Diddy don't like the kids. We know that he
I know.
loved to
You're right.
have
You're right.
Justin. We saw Justin spend the night over that man's house. Remember that for a couple of days,
Yeah.
and he got real messed up.
Yeah.
We heard about Usher and Diddy in the same bedroom playing footsie when Usher was only 13. What a 13-year-old boy supposed to be in the bed with a grown man? You got all that money, all the
Yeah, he put him in the
rooms.
hospital too. Did you hear about that?
Did you hear about it? You over here talking about some kids. I hope Diddy
no,
ain't
I
messing
heard
with
about it. I'm
kids.
just saying. I hope.
Well, Diddy
my hope is
well,
that it
Usher
didn't
was
affect
a
the kids, but I
child
know he did
then.
affect the kids.
Yeah, Usher was a child then. So I don't know how could you
Yeah.
say, I hope Diddy ain't messing with the
hope
kids
is
when
that
you know he
it
is.
wasn't a whole lot of kids because that is a lasting thing when you hurt kids. It's a
Well,
bad thing.
that's what he does.
And I'm a survivor myself, so I know how that can
Well,
affect you.
if he been with Usher and he been with Justin, do you think he just stopped that too? Hell no.
No, I'm sure he didn't. But I looked at Justin. Justin looked like he took the life out of him.
Mm.
He looked like he doesn't look like he doesn't have any energy anymore. Like his life is gone. He's lifeless. He's just like a shell. But it's going to be a whole lot of more people that's going to be involved in this too, and they all need to be affected, not just Diddy.
Mm. Mhm. All right. Well, I thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate you. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you go. All right, you guys. So we don't have hardly any more callers. So feel free to call in if you guys want this show to continue on. Do you guys like this live stream? Do you guys think I should do more live streams? If so, press 4 and put in the comment section. How often do you think I should do live streams? Okay. Let me know. Do you think it should be twice a week? 5 times a week, 3 times a week? I want to hear from you. All right, 301 KFC. How you doing?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got a question for you, Gigi.
Oh, okay, what's
Now,
up?
this is the thing.
What's up?
Okay, the latest on the Diddy case, you know, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York came out and said that after the prosecutor said that there were more than 50 witnesses or victims that had spoken with the federal investigators, it's not true. It's only one victim. It's Diddy versus one victim. So that's what I'm saying. All this stuff has been fabricated against this man. Like, Diddy's not going to jail. He's not going to get charged with anything.
He's in jail already, KFC. So what you just said was a liar.
I'm talking about going to jail to be sentenced.
Okay, but he's in jail already.
Okay, but listen, that's because of it has to go to trial.
I
he's not going to be found
that,
guilty
but
or
you
anything.
just said he's not going to jail. I just wanted to point out
I'm
that
just
was
saying,
a lie.
of course, when I'm saying jail, I'm talking about he hasn't been found guilty to go serve time for life.
Not yet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't gone to trial. Trust me, he didn't do it. This man has not done the thing that he's been accused of.
He did everything and worse. It's so many things that's not even out there that he has done. Okay.
First of all, black people don't even use the word freak offs anymore. That's somebody white that says that. We don't even say freak offs.
Well, why does it have to be a racial thing?
It's something else behind the scenes with
why
this
does it
that
have to
doesn't
be a
make
racial
sense.
thing? You know, and a lot of black people have said freak offs.
Because they tried too hard to make us believe that he was guilty before they even got done with the investigation, allegedly, or even with the indictment. That's right there sent a red flag to me.
The black community has ate it up, KFC. I mean, those are the ones.
Okay, but why would they come out and say
it.
it's hours and hours and thousands of witnesses, and now they're saying it's only one? It's only one victim. It's Diddy versus one person. And you can Google that in right now and read that yourself. So that's what I'm saying. They kept doing that. They went on this smear campaign with this man because they never had anything credible on him to begin with. Black people are allowed to make adult movies. We're allowed to do that. If you were a celebrity and that's what you were into.
To putting drinks, putting sugar boogers
so
in
they
people's
say,
drink.
but that hasn't been proven.
Okay,
that he's
well,
putting
that's
anything
the
in
whole
anybody's
thing.
drink.
That's the whole thing. So let's not act
but
like
if you were a celebrity,
it's about
but if you
doing
were a
videos.
celebrity and you were into adult movies, would you go to someone on the street, or would you go to someone like Diddy that can get you what you need?
KFC, don't you put that shit on me, okay? I'm not
just
into
saying,
no
if
damn
that's the
adult
lifestyle
movies.
that you were in,
I wouldn't be in no that shit. But if I was,
no, but I know you wouldn't. But a lot of people are.
Well, I'm
Why
not
do you
into
think you
that.
can go
I
online
don't
to the porn sites now and watch
no
it?
OnlyFans. I don't have no Twitter. I don't got none of that. Okay, so let's not do
I know
that.
you, but I'm just saying, think about the other people that like that stuff. So if Diddy was making money off of it and giving them what they need, why come when it comes to us, when black people do it, we're breaking the law?
Off of that when he doing music?
No, I'm just saying he might just like that lifestyle.
And you
There's
see
people
what
out here
that
that really like that lifestyle.
But you know that lifestyle is a dangerous lifestyle, KFC. You hear all the time how that lifestyle getting people taken out of here. That lifestyle is a gateway to a lot of sugar boogers and the evil stuff. You better leave that lifestyle alone, KFC.
I agree 100%. But didn't Lamar Odom get caught in a brothel house and almost lost his life up in Vegas?
Ooh,
because he was into doing it. So there's a lot of people who have money that like that type of lifestyle. I'm not, that's what I'm just saying. So how you know that's not what Diddy was doing? He was making adult movies. Because if it's one victim, like I said, how can sex workers who are getting paid to perform a service?
But he's not.
How can they turn around and sue?
KFC. I don't know how many times I got to tell you that it's not about no videos. It's about him putting sugar boogers in people's drinks and taking advantage of them. What part?
But what come they're saying now is Diddy versus one victim.
You gotta ask.
So what happened to everybody else?
Ask them that.
Because there was never nobody else.
Well, yes, it
They
was.
went on a smear campaign with this man because somebody had a vendetta against this man.
What? Guess
and
what?
I told you.
It's a whole black man, a few black men that was a part of that campaign. Okay, so you gonna have to talk to them black men. Why would those black men do that to Diddy? Huh?
Because they wanted to make money off Diddy.
Okay, so
everybody does that. Why
Well,
do some people go to fast food restaurants and say they found something in their food and nothing was in there?
Not something in their food. Call them from 405. You're live on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Talk to me. What's your thoughts about Diddy or Chris Brown?
So I honestly feel like Diddy needs to stay in jail. That is a man. First of all, that's a dangerous man. And a man that feel like he is above the laws and that he cannot trust. Number one, just forget the fact that he was drugging people. This man obviously has a fetish for children. When you're like that, there is nothing you won't do. You don't have no limits because children. That's a child. So I feel like people saying that he should be let out of jail, honestly, they should be put in jail right with him. I think his mama needs to go in jail. I think I don't know his son's name. Well, I don't know the difference between them, but I feel like one of them sons need to go to jail. And I just feel like people saying that, oh, they putting all this on him. I don't think it's just him, but I think he's the main one that is going to lead everybody to find out who is above Diddy. But as far as saying no, he didn't do it, and he wasn't drugging people, come on now. When people got that much money, ain't no telling what they'll do with it. I just don't understand why they want a man like that free.
Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, KFC. I just want to say thank you, KFC, for calling in. I'm going to call it a night. I just want to say thank you all. I love you all.
No problem.
I appreciate you guys for calling in, commenting. And I do have a super chat or a cash app. I just want to say thank you so much for my supporters really showing support. I'm pulling up the screen now. It's loading. It's taking forever to load. I'm trying to pull up the name, but it's taking forever to load. I don't know why it's taking this long to load. But all right, I'm gonna hold on. We do have another caller. Calling from 404. You're live on the air.
Hi.
Hi, talk to me.
Hey,
What are your thoughts?
I had an interesting theory on Diddy. So I watched a documentary about his childhood, and his father, who was associated with some other gangsters, was actually killed because supposedly he was cheating on a mama with a 20-year-old, and she called the woman's boyfriend and told him that the daddy was over there, and the daddy went over there. The guy went over there and killed the daddy. So I'm thinking Diddy is angry at women because of what happened to his daddy, and he called himself daddy, so maybe this daddy getting revenge. He got some deep psychological and moral issues, and I hope he never gets out of prison.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So, KFC, are you still there?
I'm still there, but the last caller, do you know Diddy?
No, she gone.
Have you ever been around him? Have you been to his house?
KFC, she's gone. She can't hear you no more.
Oh, man.
Okay. Thank you for Miss TP for donating $5. Okay. Thank you, Miss TP. All right. I'm out of here. Love you guys. DJ, where you
Be
at?
safe.
Be safe. All right.
It's not a game. It's a race.